Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Albron, Courts of Everest. I'm Joe Truff, and I'll do just about anything, but joining are my friends, Vincent, Tina, Kara, Hannah, and Alana, all here, despite the fact that it is snowing incredibly hard outside, and the roads are kind of a mess, so I'm glad everybody's here safe.
It's not a winter wonderland. It's a winter Sunderland.
It's a hellstorm out there.
Yeah. That's a one-shot coming at some point now. Winter Sunderland.
I immediately went to Kiefer Sutherland, so I don't know.
A little bit of both, maybe.
24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Ding, ding.
Ooh, that is not the
We got 24 hours to save Christmas. A couple of announcements before we actually get started with our game tonight. We have a number of different social media accounts at Albron RPG on YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. We are at Albron RPG. You can see the different things that are on our table. Right now, it is just some chords, but sometimes they're maps and things like that, and you can see them in much greater detail than you can see here at Albron RPG. We have so many things that are coming up in the next year. We actually just played a one-shot, Axe, Wolf, and Woe, a gladiatorial one-shot that will air sometime in 2025. Tomorrow we're playing Wheel of the Year Yule. That is going to be live right here at noon. That is going to have Tina DMing an adventure that is played by Vincent, myself, Kara, Hannah, Matt, and Tina's husband, Matt. And you can join us here for that. It is a very holiday-themed, very festive. Tomorrow will be the Winter Wonderland. This is the storm before the calm. Exactly.
Very good.
Oh, so we can have snow on the ground for it? Perfect.
It's best if it rests overnight.
That's true. That's true. Everybody loves snow on the second day.
This is the best day for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Season.
Oh, boy. Gunnar and Talon, welcome. So, yeah, join us tomorrow at noon for that, live right here. Then on December 26th, the Starfinder crew on Thursday will be attending as the naughty or nice interpretations of those themes. This side of the table has been very naughty. This side of the table has been very nice. And so you can see what that means on the 26th. On the 27th, there is the Cloak and Dagger theme. The cloakiest and daggeriest individual is going to gain a D20 reroll for that evening. The 31st is going to see a video release that is called The State of Alberon, with a preview of well over a dozen one-shots, anthologies, and special adventures that are going to happen outside of our normal adventures next year. Just keep being more games, which is very exciting, but it's a lot to talk about. And so I thought in my mind that video would be like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and that's wrong. That's real wrong. So you can see that on the 31st when it airs. And that is where all the other announcements will be, because they were getting kind of long. So with that, that is all the announcements that we have for this week. It is time for Courts of Everest.
We'll adjudicate. Ah!
Wandering Hearts. Last we played, you found yourselves in a series of halls that had 4 rooms rotating around a central staircase at the bottom of the winding Lunarish guild hall basement that contained dozens of network tunnels for a variety of purposes. You tried to eavesdrop, but a sudden rotation caused Minka to find herself standing directly in front of a grim-looking elf with crystals protruding from beneath their skin. Minka, you successfully convinced him that you were lost, which was not a lie, and promised that he would get you where you belonged after lamenting about the slipping of standards from the Porters Guild. As he guided you out of the room, Alina ambushed the master, stunning him, but activated his contingency spell, casting the scatter spell to spread you across the 4 rotating rooms in the dungeon. Ori, you managed to reach the master in that same turn, bound and gagged them while they were still incapacitated. Alina, unfortunately, you found yourself in a much worse situation. You found yourself in a room full of crates of memories, but also full of minotaurs who were much less enthusiastic about your arrival and charged you promptly. Minka, you were trapped in the office behind Ori and the master, but befriended an imp named Spittlecirk, whose feet were nailed to the table. Valis, you were scattered to the far hallway outside a room in which 6 arcane circles gathered memories from across the continent, and Billy, you were scattered into a room where an infernally hot faceted crystal of obsidian baked the raw memories down into a more encoded form, and you were immediately dominated by an incubus, who decided then and there that Billy would be an excellent addition to the team. I realize phrasing.
For some people, that's a really good Friday night.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said it happened.
You want to come on the naughty side next time?
Valis animated their bag of swords and met Alina, who fled the memory room to the halls, and together the pair held the corner against 5 minotaur with many blades and narrow halls, making for a hurricane of steel that eviscerated these fiends as Alina turned to face the incubus that instructed her friend to attack. Billy, you did get to live out your fantasy of skewering Valis, thinking that they were a fiend, perhaps. But ultimately, you were able to deal enough damage and break Billy free from this spell, though the incubus did vow to return at a later date and disappeared. Ori, you interrogated the Master of Fractures, who was uncooperative, but confirmed that your sister had been nearby and is now north. He did goad you into stabbing him, activating a glyph of warding and destroying the bonds and gag, allowing him to cast magic once more. But Minka, to this point, trapped in the narrow hall by Ori and largely unable to do more than heal the rogue, cast Polymorph and made the Master of Fractures a powerful individual and spellcaster in their own right into a frog, possibly saving Ori, who had already barely survived the first finger of death spell. You managed to break Billy from the already broke Billy from the incubus's control. With the last of the minotaurs felled, you looted the memories stored within. You destroyed the memory receivers after noting that the memories came from 6 specific locations. You noticed Darkbriar, the Divine Court, the Tower of the Crimson Mage, the House That Sleeps on Legs, and the Emerald Spire, and one more besides, though this one broken, labeled Cure Lord Tel Eldar, which Billy correctly remembered you had caused the destruction of. Valis discovered that in one crate, many of his memories were stored, the first of which contained a memory of an as of yet relatively unknown wife named Mela. As you all debated on what to do next, still within the memory sieve, with the Master of Fractures still just a frog in a bag, that is where we begin this evening, though the minutes are counting down. And for those keeping score at home, at the moment, it is the 7th of High Sun, Sunday at 11:15 p.m. You have been in this hallway for no more than, I believe, an hour and 15 minutes. What would you all like to do?
Well, would Minko like to step on a glyph of warding?
Oh, sorry.
Probably not, but
Like to,
maybe we should resolve that
already have, yes.
So, first, no. Cheshire at the moment is invisible or otherwise kind of out of range. Had stayed at the top of the stairs, but Cheshire, you can make your way down whenever you want. You can hear that the battle has died down. Minka, for you, go ahead and make your... second here. Constitution saving. Oh, no, sorry, it's a dexterity saving.
Okay, dex first.
Hey Matt, would you say despite all his rage, he's still just a frog in a bag?
No, it balanced.
Oh, okay.
So it should be okay. It should be okay.
For
Alright,
24
so
minutes.
total dex is a 19.
19. That is a meets it, beats it. You just barely squeak by. As you step here, you hear a similar resonant sound to the last time you heard one of these, and you immediately throw yourself out of the way, and instead of taking 29 points of sonic damage, as there is a which all of you in this space hear echoing throughout the halls, you only take half of that for 14 points of damage.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a...
This
I don't
imp's
think-
body just like splatter against the wall,
was
completely
already
like
so
ripped
dead.
and kind of like absolutely. If there was a way to perhaps cast like Speak with Dead, it would require some pre-work now.
All right, so I don't think it's. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna roll my check.
Sure.
All right. Okay, we're good.
I'm gonna run over towards
We
the
passed
noise.
the concentration check. Woo! I was about to say there's almost no way for me to fail this, and then I decided not to do that. So after I
You
made
said
the
it
roll.
when we were upstairs talking,
Kara
and
is an ace at that. Kara's really good.
I believe in myself.
Natural one.
But the dice.
So we're
they are
fine.
fickle.
So at that point, I think Nick is just gonna be like, okay, we're leaving the room, and leave the room.
Okay. You
Fourth cliff of fortune.
really concentrate on this spell. Redoubling your focus, making sure that you do not drop this, and you make your way out of the room and into the hall right as the sort of doorways just kind of whir. What are the rest of you doing?
Alina is going to. So she mostly completed the teleportation circle that's going to bring them to the Emerald Spire. She's just waiting to do the last rune. I seem to recall that was in the room with all the plinths where the piles of memories were.
Yes.
So she's, after the doors switch, she's going to run to the door just to look around because she heard the noise too. And she's going to be like, can we get out of here now, please?
Run back.
You run back, the door's like, and you have to keep running. And then after a little bit, you just kind of wait for a second, and eventually the doors make their way back, and you can just walk right in.
That way came for.
Valus.
Oh, hey, yeah.
One of the rotations is, and Chester's just standing there.
Sorry, that wasn't sparkly.
The
Chester, do you remember
room
anything that happened in the
to
last
see if
10 minutes?
They were named, right? Or no, they used the barrels.
You're talking about the storage room.
Yeah, the
Honestly, that does track.
just the barrels.
Just barrels. Barrels, boxes, crates.
Come with me for a second.
No identifiers.
Okay.
I want to grab Chester's hand and start leading her towards the repository and try to catch her up and say, the room we left was where stolen memories come from. And I've been thinking a lot about what you said about how sometimes you just find yourself somewhere and don't remember. And I don't know if maybe you might be losing memories too. So I take you to the repository and I say, this is apparently where they keep a lot of encoded memories. I found mine here because they sort of kind of called to me. Do you kind of see anything here that kind of calls to you?
Do I see anything here that calls to me?
Make a perception check. In this room, you are surrounded by these threads of memories that almost certainly you can see a little bit better than others. Where others are seeing boxes and barrels and crates, you are seeing these little tails and bits that are draped off and then kind of fade into spectral nothingness. 18. With an 18, you do see that a very strong thread connects Valus to one of these boxes, one that is presumably in your possession right now.
Yeah.
And that is very strong and very visible. And then you see it almost diverges about halfway between them and traces off and to the east southeast. You kind of look around and you can see other connections, but with an 18, they're not clear enough to really bring into focus. But there's nothing here that speaks directly to you.
So the box and Valus are both tied to this direction? Or-
Correct.
Help. Could I help with a perception check?
No. Yeah, it's not something that you're really perceiving, and I would argue that as it's relatively magically encoded, you're probably the least privy person in the party to being able to perceive it.
Billy seeing that not everyone is here and the circle is like basically ready to go. It's like, time's short and we got a frog that might be not a frog much longer.
About 20 minutes.
Okay, let's go.
You don't see anything here for you? Okay. I thought it was worth a shot. We should head back. I think we're about to circle out of here.
Okay, when we get to the spire, and she's like finishing things up, putting the finals, and as she
Yeah.
does that, she says, when we get to the spire, I think the best thing to do is just book it straight to the barracks of the, what was the guard called again?
Lixagi.
Yeah, the Lixagi. I'm sure they have a way to restrain a wizard, right? We just need to be really
Oh, yeah,
fast
we have
about
a
it because
wizard
the
prisoner,
last
he's a
thing
frog.
we want is to lose track of the memory wizard in the frickin' Emerald
You can make him a
Spire.
frog.
Can we all agree on some kind of plan?
Yeah,
Crazy?
Can
I don't think we should hand this guy over
see
to
a
the
wizard or a
Luxorgi.
frog.
I think it's in that bag that Ori's holding.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
No.
Phenomenal.
Comedy.
roleplay. We're LARPing today.
Okay, so what do
Can we
you think we
keep
should
it?
do?
Well,
He will be a not frog very soon.
Yeah, I think-
And then
think
that's
And he
great
seemed to be a
nighttime.
very powerful and
first
probably
things
angry
first,
wizard.
we should get the fuck out of here.
We should leave.
Okay.
We should leave.
We're going to the place, which is basically like a really busy.
Well, right
I called
now
it a train station, but I don't know what
Are you
would actually
talking
call it.
about specifically when you said the place? I thought you meant the Luxorgi barracks, but are you talking about
No, no.
where your teleportation circle goes
That's it.
to?
This is a different. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now I'm
Where are we
saying,
going?
like, when we're gonna find ourselves, we're gonna pop into this really busy, like, Grand Central Station type of place. I just forget what you called it.
Yeah. So the teleportation circle that you have access to, give me just one moment, is called the Chamber of Travel, and it is located within the central structure of the Emerald Spire that is called the Phase Obelisk.
Dude, do you have something to say?
Just if a wizard of such terrible power were to be released in that area, that would be very dangerous.
That's
Perhaps
what I've been
somewhere a little
trying.
more not crowded.
Do you know of
I
a
only-
place that we need to get there?
I
James
only
should
know
know.
one set of runes for the spire, and it's that one. So
Well, then
we don't have to go to the
The
spire.
clock
We
is
can.
ticking.
Let's go. Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes. Who has rope?
Billy just like gets like steps on the teleportation circle and is like, huh?
Okay, here we go. And if she sees that everybody's good to go, she'll complete the.
Okay. You complete the teleportation circle. There is this blaze of arcane energy, and all of you who step into the circle are transported to the Emerald Spire. You feel the familiar sensation of movement without moving. You feel your stomach rise up and then fall, and then your feet hit something a little bit firmer than the surface that you had been upon. You are within the Phase Obelisk, and you hear voices, and all of a sudden, it is like your eyes kind of focus to this new light, which is a little bit brighter than the space that you were in, and you are within a massive central chamber. I don't know that any of you have been here before, so it looks as familiar to any of you as it does to any of the rest of
I
you.
would have needed to be there to get the runes.
That's true.
right?
So, Alina, nothing has changed about this place since
Wow.
you were last here. You can see the various large alleyways that connect off into the sort of eastern side of the room. There's a number of paths that kind of curve into a place where 4 different entryways, each about 20 feet wide, form almost like a quarter of the walls. On the northern face of this circular chamber, in large script, in Elvish, Common, Dwarvish, Draconic, Sylvan, and Giant, you can see the Treaty of Four Seasons. This is just emblazoned in this huge space. On the west side of the room features several large square paths that are about 15 by 15 across, and this is where you are all kind of finding yourselves. Now, on one of these paths, you can see there are several other paths that have different people kind of getting into or out of them, and each is encoded with teleportation circle glyphs. And you can see there's like a carpet salesman who's just dragging big bags of rugs up the steps with a Goliath helping him. There's somebody who seems to be selling bows who is like completing the end of their circle, and they just teleport out of here. And on the southern side of the room, you can see dominated by like the massive oak tree that grows up here. You haven't seen like an oak tree elsewhere in this place. So it seems to only exist within this chamber, but there is a massive opening right in the heart of it, and you can see it glows green around the edges, and all of you have been to the Feywild. This is a road that is directly into it and stays permanently open. You can see people entering into and exiting this chamber, and then finally, no, that is what you see.
Okay.
I have rope. Ooh, and I can do one better. I have blood.
Is this Kara or Billy?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Billy wants to look around for anyone official right as they appear.
Make a perception check.
I'd also like to do something right as we appear.
Yes.
Alina's just gonna say, if we get separated, meet back up at Crispy's?
The Wincing Manticore.
At the Wincing Manticore, okay?
22.
22.
Oh, maybe we should go there.
No.
It's more discreet, and it's only about How far away is Crispy's from here? Roughly?
Crispy's is on the Warm and Welcome Way. It's literally on the same road as the barracks that you guys are intending to go to.
But what do you want to do once we're there?
What was your
We
perception?
could maybe get some more information out of him. I think
We can do that if he's in jail too.
When you say official, are you looking for like law enforcement?
Just someone that can point me in the direction of the barracks.
There's several
know how to
Luxagi
get there,
that you
don't
can
we?
see. And so you can go up to the nearest one if you want, who is like a larger, kind of heavy-set Goliath.
Billy strides forward with like the badge fully in view, and it's just
Yeah.
like, I'm on official business from here, some which way to the barracks.
They turn and they go, wait, which one?
The big one.
This.
Whichever one Feywandaria is captaining.
That's Luxagi Barracks number 7. That's on the Warm and Welcome Way. You're going to want to go ahead and just take the Zenderos Way over there, and they point to the east side of the room, kind of central chamber. Just keep walking along that way most of the way, and when you get about halfway across, you'll see a stairway going off to the east. Take that. You can't miss it. There's a big fountain out front, and it looks sort of like a fish, but it's not.
As
It's
she's
abstract.
listening, Billy is changing into a cloud form.
Hey, you don't look so good. Is everything all right?
Fine.
You just throw away the problem. You can see he just kind of nods and goes, I hate when they do that.
Alina's gonna be like, you have exactly 60 seconds to make a case for why we shouldn't go straight to the jail.
what if there's someone from the fracturing who works in the jail?
What's your plan if we do go to Crispy's?
It's the 6 of us against the 1 of him. I think we have good odds there.
You guys are fighting Crispy?
It's time to throw down. No.
Okay,
First of all, why are we
think
fighting a
at this
frog? And second of all, why do we do it in
We're
Crispy's?
sorkening
Like,
also, because yeah.
You're walking,
terrible
except for
idea.
Billy,
See?
who is gone.
I think we should go to the Lasaki at the very least. Then if something goes wrong, it's their fault, not ours.
We know Feywind. She's helped us before.
Okay, fine.
And
Here's
maybe
the
they'll have an
thing.
anti-magic group.
We don't speak with anyone else.
Here's some.
Deal.
While they're all talking, making plans, Alice is up looking silly, just going like, here's some.
For all of you, you make your way. Billy, you're speeding ahead. You're getting way ahead of everybody else. Are you going straight there?
And then, if you're interrogating a frog, why are we doing it at Crispy's?
Well, he might be someone from the
Billy,
fracturing.
where are you going to?
The Luxagi Barracks, number 7.
Easy for you, moving at like 300 feet or
17
turn.
minutes.
You are getting there in mere minutes, like 2.5 minutes to get there. You fly through, just along this way where you can see there are like salesmen. You see there's a person who has like a little general store set up there. There's all kinds of like little benches and things, but you just right by all of that, and you burst into the familiar Warm and Welcome Way. I'll get back to you in just a moment. For the rest of you who are just walking and talking, you note that one of your members is not walking and talking with you. Valis is just wandering around, kind of just going and whispering out. It's crowded here. People are talking. You can see there are like caravans going. But Valis, as you do that,
I want to hold up my hand as well.
you do note that there is a tiny little robin that kind of flies across. And then
No fucking
flies
way.
across, and then right onto your hand.
Shut the fuck.
Speak with animal.
You cast Speak with Animal.
Fuck no.
Somebody hit him.
You all kind of,
Do we notice this?
yeah, oh for sure.
You take this social interaction from me.
Like when that happens, several other people are just like, oh, and like there's like a little kid going by with their mom, and they're like, Mom, why can't I do that? And
Everyone hates Malice.
We only have like 15 minutes.
But you guys speak with animals, no problem. Mark off that spell. But all of you hear, the bird doesn't like move its beak or anything, but it turns from one eye, it looks at Valis, and you all hear coming from the, and other people hear, you see people start, this is not in your head. You hear the voice of Hearsome, as Hearsome says, Ah, wandering hearts, you've returned to the Emerald Spire. How fared your adventure?
Hey, here's some. There is a lot of urgency here. We need to get to a place where we can safely hold a very bad wizard. Like, really soon, within the next 20 minutes.
Well, then you should come to me immediately.
Where are you?
I am in Petrichor at the moment. I'm attending to some business, but I could bring you there immediately if you have no business in the spire.
Do it.
Our business in the Spire was to find you, so
We-
if you
we can
bring
always
us
come
to
back.
Petrichor, then
Yeah.
that would be good.
Do it.
Very
Please.
well.
Hey,
Follow
you
me.
can talk to Billy, right?
And the bird
No.
takes off and begins to fly a little slowly, kind of loops,
Really
and then make
thought
sure
you
that you're
could.
following.
Not too bad.
But this robin will kind of go in circles until you start following it.
Mine is a proximity thing. She has to be within 60 feet.
I gotcha. Okay.
Maybe I'll go get Billy, and then
I'll go get Billy, and
wait.
then because I can get us to Petrichor.
Hands back on your hand. Valis, I thought this was an emergency.
Yeah, we have to find the rest of get the rest of us. We're not all here yet. Just give us a couple minutes.
What? No.
okay. New plan. Why don't we go to Petrichor? You follow
I
us?
will go get Billy. We'll follow you with teleportation circle.
Do you want to wait?
No, you guys go.
All right, where should we meet in Petrichor?
Shoot. The place where my spell sends
The place where you
us.
teleport to.
This robin that you are holding kind of cranes its head and it says, upon arrival at Petrichor, I found the accommodations not to be to my standards, and so I have opened my own. You will be making your way to the Golden Fool.
We'll meet at the Golden Fool.
Okay. See you there. Bye.
All right.
I guess it's gonna be a cloud.
Real hard.
I like that the concentration to become a cloud is being constipated.
Meanwhile, while all this takes place, Billy, you, business as usual, make your way to the Luxagi barracks.
There was a
Sorry,
plan.
Billy.
Fly past the other stores that are happening here. You go past the various places that you have been in the past. Trebulet, Crystal Crest, where many different candies are kind of in the place. You see Tomgar's Anvil and Dragon's Folly, the Mixologist, the Stone Man, but you fly by all of them into the Luxagi barracks. You can see this is the home base for this group. There are jagged spines of cloudy emerald and rose that emerge from the building's exterior. You guys okay?
We're okay. We had a little boo boo. It's okay.
We got emotional.
Okay. No, you listen. This is your stuff.
As you kind of approach and you are you unclouding before you enter?
No. Billy was planning on clouding the whole way there. And can you cloud while talking?
Straight
Can you
into
cloud and
the...
You
talk?
can only cloud. You can cloud and dash.
There's no cloud and talk.
Cloud,
Nope.
uncloud,
And
dash.
And that's it.
Okay. So you get right to the outside. You really concentrate, and after a minute, you are real again. You make your way through the two thick wooden doors.
I think that's now 15 minutes.
It is
And
not.
by
No, this is happening
Lauren's
concurrent to all of
Okay.
you guys
No,
talking.
you
and
guys
it only
are-
takes
yeah.
Billy 2.5 minutes to get there.
Cool.
So,
You're okay.
Billy, you can see there is like a number of different individuals who are all at work here. You do see that there is an elf with his emerald-like pauldrons, intricate fastenings of silver. You would recognize that this is wearing a little fancier armor than you last saw, Faye Windaria. This is a high elf. You know that she's relatively young, in her early 200s, and she speaks to some of the subordinate Luxagi now. You can see clearly giving commands. But turns and looks at you, and she says, I remember you.
I remember you.
I was gonna say, that's not the voice, Joe.
Oh, it was the same as...
I remember you.
That's what confused me. I thought they were... Because they're very similar characters. Don't I remember you? You can see very prim high elf, like shoulders swept back.
Yeah. Billy displays the badge.
Okay.
It says, do you have an anti-magic field or anything, like for holding wizardy people?
Well, we got kinds of manacles for that.
That'll work.
Where are they?
They fit over a frog.
No, I don't believe... Are you talking about Grung?
No, I'm like was elf, is now frog.
Oh, like a polymorph situation. No, but we could just put him on the frog, and I think typically it'll magically shape the way it's supposed to be.
Perfect. They're on their way, just wanted to make sure that you were all prepared. We're bringing in a potentially powerful wizard, and we want to make sure that you've got supplies.
Turns to one of the more junior sort of Luxagi. You can see a very young-looking high elf, maybe a wood elf actually, more copper skin. And Faywin just says, "Go get the interdimensional manacles, and we'll make sure we're ready for this." we'll be ready.
If you have a way to contact Hirschman, that would also be great.
I mean, don't you?
He took it back.
I'm so sorry. Are you unemployed?
No, I think
could
we're on like an
probably use
improvement
somebody
plan.
An improvement plan. Oh man, I'm very sorry to hear that.
You know how
Once
it
they
is.
put you on a PIP.
Well, in Luxagi we call it a cap, but yeah. She goes, kind of stands by the front, and she's just like waiting. After a little bit, are you making your way to the barracks?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way. For the rest of you, are you gonna? What are you doing?
Following the bird?
Follow the bird.
Yeah,
Follow the bird?
Follow the bird.
So the bird makes its way over to this huge tree. You can see that there is this opening that goes to the Feywild, but the robin kind of cranes its head on your hand, and they say, "Now, is there anything else that will distract this process, or are you actually ready to come?"
Probably, but
Ready?
tally ho.
Ready?
Very well. You can see the robin suddenly, the eyes like glaze over, and for a minute it kind of swoons in your hand, and then just kind of takes off, making little bird noises. And then you can see the tree in front of you, some of the roots that twist to form almost like a wall, creak. And you can see there are little bits that go from brown to almost green, and then they stretch apart, and you can see slowly this doorway forms, and then there is just a of light, and you can just step straight through if you want.
I step through.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me change my sound set again. Traveling all over the place now.
Remember
whole
when
time.
Billy was so ready to follow a plan?
It was a good plan, but then Vincent's dumb plan of just saying here's some out loud. I mean, you
how
gotta
could you
admit,
ever
that was
expect that to work?
Because it hasn't worked. Billy's tried it so
I
many
know,
times in the
I know.
past. Have Valis make it work.
To be fair, though,
Here's some buzz, Valis.
there's only a couple places where it really would work, and this is one of them, and it has a very small chance to work. So it's spectacular. I love
I
it.
saw a girl roll a dice and then look at that dice.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm gonna see him look at me.
So all we've really learned through all this is that Valis continues to be the golden child, and somehow now we've become like almost a sibling-esque rivalry between Billy and Valis. Because Valis keeps accidentally bringing home straight A's.
And he keeps stealing her kills.
Study.
He got his cell phone taken away because he used it too much.
Do you know who had the cell phone when it got taken away?
Go ahead.
Billy fucking hates Hirschman now.
So, you
Just
find
wait till Billy gets her
yourself
memories back.
stepping into Petrichor. It is a festive attitude, especially compared to when you were last here. Though the rain does kind of deaden the music, you can hear much more of it in the air. You stand in front of a newly established and seemingly sprung up overnight, a white marble T-shaped villa that is put on a newly kind of leveled, uneven terrain that now forms a terrace outside of each side of this villa. The exteriors are lined with hibiscus shrubs and several 3-foot-tall vases that explode out with bushels of live papyrus grass that grows so tall it can provide coverage from the rain to some. At the center of the base of the T, there is a huge window of glass panes that are joined delicately with steel that, using different textures, depict the sigil of the Treaty of Four Seasons. And in the front window nearest the street, you can see a golden statue that is up 3 steps of stone that looks like an individual in a gesture outfit. For all of you, as you behold this statue, you see your own face kind of projected across it. And it looks very much like you in a full costume. But for each of you, it seems kind of tailored to the individual. There's certainly magic at work.
Why is that a statue of me up there?
You can see
I feel like Valis would be like, wow, they made a statue of me.
there are doors on either side of the kind of front part that is coming out, and so you could walk into either one. The one on the left is propped open slightly.
The open one?
You guys have about 10 minutes till you have not a frog.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Ori's going in as quickly as possible, knowing that
problem.
there's this frog in the bag with 10 minutes left.
That's really
I don't
smart.
think I've been here before. Why would they make a statue of me?
Well, because I said specifically, and I'm restating now,
Yeah.
Ori is keeping methodical timing on both the amount of air that the frog has in the bag and the time in which it's going to change.
I know, but what I'm laughing at is that Matt keeps checking on the frog coin purse.
It's the role play that's so good.
It's a really good roleplay.
It's the commitment that we love.
Oh, so can you guys tuck in just a little bit more on the side of the table? Walking into the door, you enter into a central kind of rectangular room with marble floors, walls, and ceilings with columns of marble that have these little recesses in the middle of them at chest height where there are these little bits of moss that have been placed down, and you can see that fireflies have chosen to come in here and live. And so most of the ambient light here is provided by these little fireflies in these little, almost like open air terrariums. At the far end of the room, there is a U-shaped white marble bar with 12 wooden stools, and you can see there are 12 different kegs that are behind the bar. Each one has a different label upon it. Each one is currently tapped, and you can see these little custom handles that have been painted, likely by the proprietor, who you can see is behind the bar. Water genasi, kind of recessing hair away from the periwinkle blue skin and the white gray hair. But you see the only other person who is seated at this bar is Hirsum. They're standing there just holding a beer, and they turn and just kind of raise it to all of you. And they say, "Where is this troublesome wizard?"
Here.
Take the frog out?
Yes.
He looks at it and he goes, "Well, that won't do." And he reaches out, kind of stands up, clops across it, and just pokes it. And there is a burst of magic that just ripples through your whole arm. Ori, every hair on your arm turns to grass. You can feel like a sprouting sensation. And he says, "Terribly sorry about that. It will go away." But you can see the frog fundamentally does not change, and it fundamentally does not change so much that, Ori, you feel confident that this will never not be a frog again.
True polymorph.
He takes a sip of his beer, hand still coming back to his chest, and he says, "So, how else was your adventure?"
Wait.
Okay, so many things have happened,
Well, Valis can do that, I'm sure.
right? You can talk to frogs.
Chester's getting a beer.
Wow.
You go over, and
Well, all right then.
the bartender behind kind of waves over to you, and they say, "So, what are you having?"
What do you got?
We have lots of different things. We have things coming in from Adria's just down the way. We also have some stuff coming all the way across the expanse from Dungannon. We have some things in today from Druid's Dream Brewery. We also have something in from House of Vitality. You might be more partial to something from Lamenters, though. What kind of beer do you like?
I'm not real sure what's going on. I need a drink to help with that.
Vexed Maiden it is, all right. And they go and they pull, you see this, like, it's a keg labeled the Vexed Maiden Brewery, and across it, burned in, it reads, "The Curse." And they pour this beer and kind of slide it across to you, and they say, "That'll be 5 copper pieces." But Hirsum turns around and says, "No, that'll be quite okay. They drink for free." He nods to you and says, "Very well then, but, tips are still accepted." They go back to kind of cleaning a glass.
Okay,
What kind of
where
customer
did we
treasure?
leave off last time we spoke to you? Because a lot of things have happened and it gets kind of a little mushy.
Lunage Guildhall is having a black market of memories,
Encoded thoughts, yeah.
encoded thoughts, in their storage areas, in a section
I think we
the Guildhall.
encounter some type of divination orb that seems to block all divination, but it seems like they were...
What does this have to do with us?
There
More
were
importantly.
more creatures there from other planes who seemed involved with the fracturing disorder.
Fiends.
Thank you. Okay, so the fracturing.
Yes. This frog's name is Quizarius.
Quizarius. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay. Well, he had a lot of books about memory, and he was clearly taking them, and they are directly connected somehow to the fracturing, because we found out that the fracturing is also kind of connected to Stygia? Right? That's the
Stygia,
right one?
yes.
Okay.
Dreadful place.
This was an incubus?
Yes.
There wasn't ink. Oh,
A Stygian
I don't think I know
incubus. I'm not there. Sorry.
Well, I don't think this one was. Did that one seem like it was icy?
It did.
Oh yeah, it was.
It
Because I almost fucking froze to death. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably know
Oh, yeah.
more than me.
long
You're sitting there with like blue skin.
It's been a long 5 minutes
To
ago.
go, yeah, I froze to death.
Just shredded straight through the armor.
Or he has to mow his arm.
So, we know for sure that somehow the Lunarish Guild is trading in memories that is somehow related to the flu.
The Wake Peter flu.
Wake Peter flu.
A lot of the memories we found.
It was memories of people who had contracted Wake Peter flu, and presumably died.
Interesting.
In other memories we found collected from the Spire, it seems like when the scholars read some of the books, they get their memories taken in a way where they're unaware that the memory is being taken from them.
This would make sense. The Alsenlock takes memories from individuals who have committed crimes in their eyes. As you're aware,
I am aware.
it would seem that there is something more sinister to this act. Have you recovered your memories, Valis?
I pull out a
Nope,
chest.
I have them.
Oh, you have them?
They're in the bag of holding.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yes. In this place where all the memories were, there was a repository with many memories, and I think I found a box with them, but they are with Alina right now, and Alina is going to meet us here with Billy later.
Well, perhaps there is something of an answer within those.
Hopefully.
What is...
We know that hags are involved somehow. We don't know exactly how they fit in the picture, but they're part of it for sure. What else did we learn?
Before we were led to the guild hall because Cheshire felt like there was something that we were looking for there, but before then we were in the Underdark looking for the sword Cinderton that you told us about. And we found the sword in the Temple of the Frozen-Throated Dreadlord, and we believe that...
That's the guy.
Psilocybin?
Psilocybin.
I think we believe that, or I don't remember how you, I think it was you who made the connection, but the Dreadlord may be the present day Psilocybin. And there are many forces of the Psilocybin in the Underdark, and also the Underdark was being commanded by a Stygian devil.
Allied to some degree with,
Allied, yes.
I would say.
We saw Levistus's tomb.
That's concerning.
There was a portal.
It was at a
to there.
distance. Yes, it was, but enough where we
Horrifying.
saw what it was.
We were able to close that portal. And yeah.
I've heard that Levistus traffics in memories as well, keeping them frozen within Stygia. This is all connected, certainly, but how? I'm still not quite sure. One thing is certain, the Ausenlock seems involved, and I have promised you access to this library.
It seems like, at the very least, members of the fracturing have infiltrated some part of this underground encoded memory market.
They were receiving memories from 6 places. I list the 6 places. And then when I say, like, Kir Teledar, I will also, like, mention that,
You destroyed that.
yeah, Billy, remember that we went into Kir Teledar and we destroyed the memory loom there. And we believe that was why that stone was already cracked. But we did destroy those for Siva because they seem sinister in nature with the presence of fiends around.
It's the blood throne, so this is sinister.
It was good to follow your instincts. Only bad things could have come from those. You have most likely at least slowed their operations, if not stopped them outright. but it's important to ascertain who the other members of this fracturing are, and who, hopefully not all, of the Austenloch are involved in this as well. Because we do not know, it is vital that all of you keep this at least somewhat quiet. And Joe, I'm feeling shades of Thursday now. Kirsten actually has surprisingly more confidence than Peep does in Mosaic Team 5.
But Peep's just a little guy.
I feel like there is something.
Let's see. Before then, we found your home.
You found me home. Lots of Stygian influence for some reason in the Underdark.
Lots of psilocybin fiends. His fiends are trademarked by the fact that they seem like things that were once alive, killed, torn apart, and then
Amalgamations.
stitched together.
That sounds terrible.
Yes. There seems to be some type of war down there between the psilocybin and other inhabitants of the Underdark.
Well, that could still prove to work on our favor. I'll see who else I can find to send down and do a bit more research.
Vampires
Oh, right. Vampires, for sure.
are also
Vampires.
members of the fracturing, most likely also. Yes, the member of the fracturing that we actually do know was a member of the Austenloch that was captured.
That's an important detail.
Yes.
It sounds like
He
you
flew
should...
away and is a vampire. But yes.
He was the head archivist of the Austenloch in the... Okay, I forget the name. What's the spire in the dome again?
The Onyx Spire?
The Onyx Spire. And he is not in there anymore. So if he
Johann
was contained...
Check.
Yeah.
Johann Check, right. That was the name.
1 second.
You mentioned that there might have been a fracture in the spire, and if he is one who should be contained within the spire, then it is not good that we found him outside the spire. I mean, the dome.
That would indicate that there is already some way to travel between the dome. I know of Johann Sech. This is the archivist of the cryptic texts. This was the Austenloch branch in the Onyx Spire. If that means quite a number of things, but it would make sense for him to be a vampire, as he would be nearly a millennia old at this point.
He's also was not the first vampire we've come across.
There are many vampires.
I was told that by someone that all the vampires were contained within the dome. Is
From
that correct?
Everest, yes. Many others fled to a city called Dungannon across the ocean. One in particular, Lord Somathorn, taking on kingdom there for some time. I've heard that they're accumulating in the Sunrest Islands for some reason.
The Master of Fractures had said that some of the people in the dome should not have been kept there. Perhaps they meant their vampire kin.
Well, that would make sense. There are a number of vampires who are kept there.
So, other members within the dome would likely be folks that could be members of the fracturing.
Well, I imagine we would know if the Flayer of Men, Lord Castragus, was back amongst us, but aside from them, perhaps one with a little bit more subtlety. You can see he seems a little concerned now, but he turns to all of you and he says, if the dome has already been fractured, even a small amount, that is extremely concerning. While it's important to investigate the Austenloch, it may be more prudent to go there directly.
To the orb?
To the dome.
Dome?
Right, that's what I meant. The spherical object.
He nods and says, yes, Minka, good job.
I love Minka.
Does he pull out a sheet of gold star stickers and put one on?
For Percy.
right. We've done that bit before.
But he turns, and as this conversation is happening, you make your way over to Billy.
Yeah.
Takes you about 20 minutes to get there. You've had a pretty good pace.
Oh, no,
but-
she turned into a cloud.
Oh, you turned into a cloud. Yeah, no problem.
I'm
2.5
clouding over
minutes.
there. That's why I keep being like,
You like buzz right by. The guy at the general store is just like, oh, look, another one. And then you just make your way over to the Luxagi barracks. You appear. Faywin Arya goes, gotcha. Oh, no, you're just another one. But you make your way in. Billy is there. Faywin seems very on edge. You see this little, like, squire-looking Luxagi kind of lunge for a second with these manacles, but then stop. And Billy is right there.
hey, Billy.
Where's everyone else?
Change of plans.
What the fuck?
Alice made
Oh,
contact.
hey, Faywin. Oh, hi. Nice to see you,
Hey,
too.
Faywin. Sorry, I'm all worked up. Excuse us for a second. Valis, I know, it's so dumb, but Valis, like, wandered around saying Hearsom's name out loud, and then a fucking bird landed on his hand and was like, Hearsom, better come to Petrichor. Anyway, they went to Petrichor, and I have the spell. We should go. I'm sorry, he worked really hard. Faywin,
I'm sorry. He just called out Hearsom's name. A bird landed on his hand, like a
yeah,
fucking
and then the
princess from a
bird's
store.
beak opened, and out came Hearsom's voice, and it was absolutely the worst. Come on, I'll tell you about it on the way.
Everyone's on order.
Feywind, thank you so much for your help. It turns out Hearsom beat us to it.
Oh, so you got his present.
What?
He left some kind of a rock for you over at Crispy's. The Winston Manticore, they call it.
Oh, we should go get that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got you all worked up.
Oh, so we're not going to be arresting a wizard.
Apparently
No,
not.
we're good.
I'm sorry.
Thanks anyway.
But they're not like at large.
No.
No, they're a frog. For another 15 minutes.
I think Hearsom's got it covered. It sounded like
Billy already
Hearsom.
explained it to me. It's a polymorph situation.
Yeah. It
It's a
sounded like
spell?
Hearsom knew what to do. So,
Kind of nods.
okay.
You know
well,
how you have a plan and then your superiors just like somebody else's plan better, but yours is a really good plan?
Make a persuasion check.
It's Billy.
Boy,
to get Faywin to like complain about her boss.
21.
Faywin nods and she's like, absolutely. I feel like there's all kinds of things I could be doing with my time, but I'm stuck here on the warm and welcome way. There's no crime here. There's little kids that steal candy out of
You just-
Crystal Crest.
You try to show them that you know your stuff and that you're really good at things, and then this other dude who just happens to be like buddies with the boss just takes up all the credit for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. There's that guy, Ulfric Wolfgard. I don't know if you met him.
Oh,
Yeah, we met him. He sucks.
I only got a promotion because he got a promotion on account of the work that you all did.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what that's like.
You should drink with us sometime. Next time we're in the Spire, we should go.
Hell yeah, where are you going to be?
Well,
We usually hang out at the Wincing Manticore, but apparently we're going to be where are we going now?
we have to go to Petrichor, but we'll treat you next time.
I mean, you get to go to Petrichor. Are you going to the tournament?
Oh, maybe we'll be there anyway. Can we bring you back a souvenir?
Yeah.
Okay.
They sell all kinds of stuff there just for the tournament. So, I mean, they usually have different little decorations for all the different bands that are playing, all the different artists. And you don't even have to go to the main stages. I mean, there's street artists that are really good.
We'll bring you something. Listen, Faywin, good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
We have to go, but we'll see you soon.
Yeah, good luck with the frog wizard.
Thank you. And then Alina's gonna pull Billy out into the streets and be like, "What do you mean you don't play an instrument?" She just whispered that to me.
Sure.
So walk and talk maybe to Crispy's because
Sure.
present.
Walk and talk.
What do you mean you don't play an instrument?
Play an instrument.
You play the flute. What are you talking about?
I don't.
What?
I've never played the flute.
Did you maybe one of those memory strands that Valis found?
What?
You 100% played the flute. You just don't remember. Okay, well,
Ori played the flute. Maybe you're mixing us up, which would really suck.
No,
because
a
we're
lot
very
of people
different.
play the flute.
As you're having this conversation about all the different people that play the flute, you see literally 4 doors down is the wincing man. And so you just button hook over and you can see this little gnome wearing the green suede shoes and the tight black trousers, navy tunic over top. The jaw is a little bit larger on one side, but he looks you up and down and he goes, the Wandering Hearts!
Hey,
Oh,
Crispy.
it's just the 2 of you.
Yeah, we didn't bring your drinking buddies. We heard
He's still alive.
he's
don't worry.
fine. Don't worry. We'll tell him you said hi. We
Worry
heard that
about
Harrison
that
left
boy.
something for us.
Yes, just a moment. And he kind of jumps down, reaches under the desk, and he pops out a very familiar-looking sending stone. And he says, I know that Harrison's been expecting you. Are you going to be staying for a couple of nights? Or are you headed straight on through?
We're headed through, but next time we're in town, you're sure to see us.
All right, well, just give Harrison a call. I'm sure he'll invite you right in.
Yeah, sure. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
As the incantation finishes, the sigil glows, and back in the inn, talking to all of you, Harrison says, just a moment. And they turn and they pull this little rock out, they press the sigil, and they say,
What it looks like from this side.
yes, Crispy.
Oh, it's Alina. Hello.
So, one moment. They go out and they go over and they just say, yes, Alina, you've reached the Billy.
Yes, and we're
Say the
gonna
Billies.
we're gonna head to Petrichor now. I can use teleportation circle, but I'm just gonna need to rest for an hour before we join up. But we'll see you soon.
Very well, just one moment.
Sure.
They turn around to all the rest of you and they say, does anybody need anything? Alina is stuck because of her limitations for the next hour in the Emerald Spire.
Can I
And
hear
Oh,
this?
yeah, for sure.
I cover it and I'm like,
did
I don't actually hear the other side of the conversation.
oh, I forgot. Okay.
But yes.
Alina, you hear suddenly from this stone, just one moment, Minka is thinking. It might take just a minute.
More beer.
Minka, dear, take all the time that you need. And for you, Cheshire, they turn when you kind of call that out and they say, this is truly the finest collection of ales that you'll find in Petrichor. So help yourself, and it is free for all of you.
I commissioned our dragonborn friend for the divination tools,
Warren.
and I was trying to remember his name. Did Warren finish my divination tools by any chance? Do you know?
They take the stone out and they say, did a gentleman named Warren finish a divination tool for Minka?
We can go ask him.
Ah, excellent. Anything else, anyone? That will be all, Alina. And the connection is terminated.
I fucking hate him.
They put this down, and in the rest of this inn, they say, I am so looking forward to all of you being together again. They turn and, they take a long drink of their beer. Are you guys doing anything in the hour that you have in the spire?
I guess we'll go talk to Warren. See if
Well, Warren's in
Hopewell.
I forgot. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Just go get a drink, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
fair enough. There's any number of places that you can go and get a drink, and so unless there's a specific place that you want to go,
Crispy!
Crispy turns around and just goes, yeah?
It turns out we have to stay for an hour.
Oh, great.
Want a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Billy pulls out her flask. Remember that drinking game you played with Ori?
Oh, yeah.
He really liked that.
Well, I'm fresh out, I'm afraid.
But it was
But-
such a good experience. Cheshire turned him into a balloon. He turned into a cow.
That's wonderful, and I'm sad that I missed it. But if you go to Petrichor, which is I think where you're going, there's going to be a vendor named Thisbin, and they are the one that sells that. You can find them.
You want some while we're
Acquire it
down
for
there?
yourself. I'm sorry.
You want us to grab you some while we're down there?
Oh no, I have a shipment coming in.
Okay then. Ale.
I've just paid for it already. So they go ahead and it takes them a second because they have to go and get a new keg. They haven't quite set up yet. It is literally 1 a.m. But they go and they pour you a beer. And you can go ahead and have your ale.
Something stronger.
Yeah, so the original thing that they were pulling out is whiskey. They pour you a glass of whiskey.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it is
Alina
quite
pushes
nice.
the ale away. After he's gone through all that trouble
Yeah.
to tap the keg and everything, she's like, ooh, whiskey. Yeah, I want that instead.
You can see he just kind of sighs and he says, yeah, that's about typical. All right. And he pours you some whiskey.
Billy shoots the whiskey, grabs the beer, and goes for that.
Nice. So go ahead and make both of you a constitution saving throw as you put down a number of drinks with Crispy.
I have
See if you-
advantage just because I'm a satyr and this is what I do.
No. I think you would need to be a dwarf for that.
Oh, fair enough.
Getting on Crispy's level, he's a 20.
Con save?
Yeah.
21.
21, okay.
It says. Hold on, I have to double check where this advantage is coming from.
Level 20 Tavern Keeper.
I got it.
I don't. Hold on. I don't think
it
I
just
have
hit
that
me.
anymore. It might have been from a spell. It must have been from a spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, unfortunately, the second one doesn't count. I rolled a 1 for a total of 4.
Billy, it's the first time in a bit that you've had a nice, strong, and very clean whiskey. This is one that, no frills about it. Everything that you've had has had, notes of spices and florals and things like that. Here's has brought you to very nice places. This is good, salt of the earth whiskey that will make most people cough, but for you, it's a celebration. And you get a little taste. But no problem, an hour passes. While that hour is happening, you guys are having a conversation with Hearsome. Is there other stuff that you're relaying to him?
If he lets me, I'm just gonna brag about my mom for a solid 20 minutes.
Yeah, so he'll let you for about 5, and then you can see he immediately, very pointedly, turns away from you and will loudly say, does anybody else have something to share?
So, did I mention that we did find the sword that you pointed us towards?
You did, Sinterson. And I was going to say it may be good to go after a different item, maybe one that would keep you safe next time. However, with news that the dome has fractured, it seems imperative to focus on the fracturing now.
Where do you have...
Which is unfortunate, as I had found quite the deck of cards for Cheshire.
could you tell us where it is, just in case? Is it near the dome? Or in case when we're done with the dome and aren't able to reach you?
It's not. I'll tell you guys, meta, not the deck of many things.
Oh, damn it!
Never giving you the deck of many things.
Challenge accepted.
Pearson is going to say it is not near the dome, but on the off chance that we are able to ascertain that we have more time, I will give you the location and I will help you get there myself. For the time being, I would advise either the Orson Lock or the dome.
Do we have time while we're here to see if we can participate in the Battle of the Bards?
I was going to say that I will not be leaving until after the Battle of the Bards, so the earliest that I can take you anywhere is the 11th.
Okay.
Well done.
Do you know who is competing?
I do.
And are
There's
there
a number
any-
of individuals who are competing?
Are there any... What's it called? I think you need a patron, right?
You did.
Do you need
So-
is there any patrons that don't have any
Bud.
champions competing for them?
Phallus. It's 3 days before the tournament. I'm sorry. It's 2 a.m. There's 2 days until the tournament, and no, there is nobody who is in need of a performer. If you truly want to compete, you would need to upplace a group. Your best bet would likely be with the Lady Emberly Ortasis Oscord, as she is badly disliked amongst the community and has likely not secured a good artist. I do know that the scholar Hilaire... I did this to myself.
Hilaria.
Hilera von Straga has imported a group from the Ossenloch, known as the Choir of Ossen, and they have made their way recently to Petrichor. I did hear them performing just the other night. Quite impressive. I'm sure that you're familiar with them as a scholar of the Ossenloch.
Do I remember?
Roll a d20.
This is a D20. And what does a 2 get me?
A 2 gets you like you've never heard a goddamn song in your life.
Yeah. What's a
I
choir?
must have taken those memories as well.
But
Music.
here's some frowns and just goes, "That's dreadful." They're best known for the Symphony of Helper's Hope, but quite a number of other sort of orchestral pieces, all sung verbally. They're similar to individuals who I've heard referred to as blades singers. There is the brewer in town, Deshela Avaskin. They have hired a relatively mundane group called Extended Rain. They're sort of a, what's the term? Orchestra, symphony, dad band. They play a washboard, a jug, and a drum, but I wouldn't discount them. They're somewhat musically talented, at least the Aarakocra is. And then there is, of course, the poet Eurodria Crane. And they have probably the most exotic group who came from Uhex. They're known as Oldwin Sinks. Sort of a new style of music, I gather. Very unconventional, very interesting.
Because that's
Cheshire. How do you feel about trying to get in and put on a show for the masses?
You tell me where.
All those names you mentioned, were any of them I believe the wife of the late noble who did...
Yes, that would be the person that I started with, Emberly Artasis Oscourt.
Artasis.
She was the wife of the late Lord Artasis, and less pleasant to deal with recently than most, because she had assumed that she would inherit everything. Much to her surprise, there is a very public tournament happening for most of the belongings. So, not terribly pleasant to be around to begin with, even less so now. And that is the person you have the best chance of working with, unless you plan on somehow defeating a group before this tournament in the day ahead.
How would we go about reaching out to Lady Oscourt in order to bid for her patronage in the tournament?
I heard that she was still auditioning people as of 2 days ago. I do not know if she's found anybody, but likely within the Petrichor Performers Association Guildhall. Perhaps the Rose Theater.
We've been there. Last time we were here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they were all snobby.
They were, and is that where the bed that was lit on fire was?
No, I think that was... Oh,
No?
I thought that was your room in Crispy's.
No.
No.
That I thought it was in Petrichor.
Wrong on both counts. It was in the Feywild.
Feywild.
Bricklebriar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brickle Brackle, you know.
Brackle Brewery.
Yeah.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
The brewery, yeah, the
Not
cider
a
house.
sponsor.
The Bramblebriar.
Yeah.
Remember when we got embeasoned?
That was a good time.
I don't think I have any other questions. Thank you, Hirso. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen you.
I've been busy.
Where can I take a nap?
Oh, please help yourself to any of the rooms upstairs. I had this place constructed for this exact occasion, and we have not accepted anybody in as of yet. I have decided to leave it empty until after the tournament, as rooms are absolutely booked.
Question: why did you make it out of marble in a rainy city?
They turn and they look over the bar, and you can see this Janazi just kind of says, well, that was my idea, really. And Hirsum says, and I am nothing if not an accommodating patron.
Okay.
The rocks.
It's gonna wave you
passes.
before you go.
The two of you teleporting to Petrichor?
Yes, and we are the runes are.
I had my memory put back in my Cheshire.
Okay, get to that in a
Oh,
second.
we don't. Oh yeah.
Lot gave me the runes for the Petrichor Performers
That's what
Guild.
that was.
So we go there,
Okay.
and she. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna role play this or if I'm just like. And I say the
I gotta
magic
go see
word.
who's there.
I did roll a nat 1 on my con save.
Yeah, you're wasted.
I'm supporting her
Billy's cheeks
with
are
the arm around it, you know. Not the
does
first
not have
time
that
that Alina has just schlepped a very drunk Billy around, I think.
He's so awful. He works so
You
hard.
pass this teleportation circle and you appear and you just hear hard echo in this quiet room. It's 2 a.m. and while the main chamber of the Emerald Spire absolutely hustling and bustling, here in the much smaller town of Petrichor, where this is a subterranean teleportation circle, there's this loud echo and you hear footsteps. You can see running around the corner, there's this individual who is wearing this like bright blue and yellow outfit. They have this like elaborate cap on and they are holding this piece of like composition that you could see they were writing on. They have this pale face and they turn and they're just like, is everybody okay?
I am so sorry for my friend. Hello. My name is Alina.
Bosses suck.
You weren't expecting anybody.
That's okay. I apologize for coming in at this late hour and with this very rude, loud person. I actually am not sure. Teleshai a lot was kind enough to provide me with the runes because we needed to get here quickly.
Say no more. They turn and they kind of like roll this parchment up after like flapping it dry a little bit and they tuck it in their pocket and they say, is there something that you all need?
Not at the moment, thank you. We just needed to get into the city. We'll leave you be now, thank you.
Could I show you out at least?
Sure.
They kind of help you, and they show you like a much quicker way out to like a little back alley to get you out quicker.
And as they're walking, Alina's like, actually, do you know where the Golden Fool is? Because I just realized I don't.
I've seen a Golden Fool statue outside that new building. If you just go this way, and they kind of point you, they open the door, it's raining, but they point you down, and like you can see there's like a number of people here. Little stages have been set up on the side of the road in places, and like it looks markedly different, even in the rain, even in the dark. But they just kind of point and say, and then you can't miss it because gold, you know?
Yeah, thank you very, very much.
Of course. And tell Lot that we would love to have her patronage again.
I will. Thank you. Sorry, again. Enjoy your evening.
Feel better.
Thanks.
And as they go, Alina's gonna be like, please no more yelling about how much Hearsome sucks. We kind of need him right now, okay? Keep that to ourselves. Those are inside bubble thoughts.
You take Billy and all of their thoughts, both inside and outside, and make your way out, following the directions relatively successfully. And for all of you, you hear Billy approaching. At like about 3 a.m. now, you make your way into the Golden Fool. You see all these things. You enter the door into this beautiful marble space and this counter. And Hearsome turns and just says, Alina and Billy.
We are inside Bubble Thoughts.
Lovely.
Hello. Billy overdid it a little bit, but I'm fine.
And we gotta let him out.
You can see they hold up a hand and they
There
go,
a bed somewhere I can deposit her in?
Oh no.
this is on purpose?
Yeah, I think it is.
All right, well,
Sorry.
we'll just leave
Sorry,
that be
Boo.
then. There are beds on the second floor. Please help yourself to any of the rooms.
Thank you. We will.
She should get that thing.
And Hearsome, thank you for sending us after the waistcoat. It enabled me to achieve a lifelong goal of mine.
He nods and he says, Sir Nunos is a wild sort and a bit uncultured for my taste most times. However, the work that he does is vitally important, and I recognize its importance in maintaining the Feywild.
He invited
What?
me to join the wild hunt when I die.
I know. I see him frequently.
He talked about me?
Yes. And it was good this time. He turns and he says, Hungry hearts, I am glad that you have all returned, and you have done admirably. Valis and Ori have told me that there is pressing danger occurring. There is evidence that the dome has been fractured. We've decided
Inside
that the
bubble
Orson
thoughts.
Lock. I'm sorry, Billy.
She's fine. Just don't. And Alina literally puts a hand over Billy's mouth. Yeah, bubble thoughts.
He turns and just says, the Orson Lock is one stop that may be next. Given the evidence that all of you have found, they likely have something to do with this. The other option is proceeding directly to the dome after the eulogy tournament of Lord Artasis, of course.
Oh,
After, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we should sleep on it.
Very well. They turn and just kind of go, they motion, and like another beer is brought over to them. But no worries. Is there anything else that the rest of you want to do before you turn in for the evening?
Cheshire would have gone to bed like 45 minutes ago already.
Okay, yeah, already in bed. And the beds here, glorious. Each of these rooms is complete with a queen-size bed, clearly designed for like only one person. A lot of marble fixtures here. You can see there is a bathroom that is like ensuite to each one of these rooms. So each of you has a private bathroom if you wish. There are little wooden seats in each one, and you can see there are like windows that open out. And though they do open out into the rain, there is actual glass in these windows, and so it isn't like cold upstairs. It's actually quite temperate. But you make your way up, you find sleep with no problems whatsoever. Cheshire, anybody else doing anything before bed?
Lena's
I
putting
linger.
Billy to bed, and then she's gonna go find Ori.
Okay. You put Billy to bed.
Yeah.
Let's see how Billy puts up with that. We got a runner.
And as she tucks Billy in real tight, the way that she's seen Billy do to Ori before,
Yeah.
Alina's gonna be like, I know he's a fucking asshole, but keep your head on, okay? Night night.
You leave Billy behind. You're not 100% sure about this move, but you leave Billy.
She's grown up. It's
You
fine.
go over, you find Ori. Ori, easy enough to find downstairs, presumably.
You want to talk to the frog?
What should I ask? I mean, what should I ask? Did you have any chance to
Well,
speak to him while
A little
when you
bit.
had him restrained?
Didn't really get much out of him.
Should we get him like a puddle or something? I mean, Petricor's a lot wetter than
I
before,
think
but
he's
frogs.
going to be quite happy in my satchel for the rest of his life.
Billy, make a stealth check.
23.
Make it at disadvantage.
No.
Okay. You're doing pretty much everything at disadvantage at this point, my friend. You all suddenly just hear as Billy can't quite get untucked and has to like full body roll out of the bed. But Billy, you feel like the fresh air hit you from out of these covers, and it is freedom. It calls to you. You like struggle out of these covers. It is like what's the spell? Everett's Black Tentacles. Like you're fighting this difficult terrain, but you burst free into your primal form, which is just kind of sweaty and like haphazard. And you're like, I am ready to face the night.
Muffled from like the second floor, you hear, you gotta let him out!
You can see the bartender kind of like pulls on Hirsim's cloak and just goes, should we do something about that?
She's
You can
fine. She's got big feelings. It's fine.
You just kind of nods. Every time there's like a noise, he looks up nervously, but for sure. Anything else before you guys go to bed? Are you talking to the frog?
Yeah. What do you want me to ask the frog?
Well, I mean, I feel like he's
d-
probably not going to want to tell us much now
Is
that
he
he's a
gonna-
frog
It's also,
forever.
isn't he just like a frog? Sorry. I thought he
he
wasn't
has-
a person inside a frog. He's
He
like a
has
frog
the same
frog.
personality and alignment. I did a lot of research
Oh,
on
okay,
this.
fair enough.
He has the same personality and alignment. However, he has the statistics of a frog.
Intelligence of 1, my
Oh, he
friend.
has the
But
intelligence of,
In
the
theory,
frog?
he knows
does.
everything he knew before, right?
In theory.
theory.
Like,
Okay,
it's
okay.
in there.
Like it's in there somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
You're just gonna have to talk to a frog.
Okay.
Irony of
if he
irony
remembers
is
anything
master.
and he remembers us, he'll probably be pretty mad that he's a frog.
Yeah. But
I don't
also,
think he'll tell us much.
Do frogs hold grudges?
it might be a hungry frog, so maybe we can try to bribe it with food to have it tell us things.
You also have a
Listen.
companion who has detect thoughts and encode thoughts, but you know,
She's asleep.
she is asleep.
Yeah.
The Elven Bros have
She's
to like
eepy. It'll be fine.
figure this out first, and then we'll see.
Well, I can't do anything other than hold it. And, I guess I'm inclined to just let it go at this point.
Here's some. Is this gonna be a frog forever? You said, like, just live a frog life.
For about a year, maybe 2.
Oh, so I shouldn't get rid of him.
Don't let it go. What if someone casts wish or something? I'm just saying. That's a spell
Spell
I know
wish.
about. Yeah, to make him into a guy again.
That's a very hard spell to cast.
I'm not saying just anyone. He's a bad dude with very powerful friends.
Very well. I mean, that is something to take into consideration, I suppose.
So
Are
what
you
do we
saying
do
for
in
only
2
about
It
years?
is a very distinct-looking frog.
What do we do in like 2 to 4,
Are you
1 to
saying
2 years?
that's only going to be a year or so because of the average lifespan of a frog?
Yes.
When the frog dies, will he come back to being the wizard that he was?
There's a lot of theological debate about that, but likely he will be dead. And depending
in a frog
upon
body.
their beliefs, perhaps there's an afterlife. I've never asked a frog about that, to
Oh,
be
so
honest.
he doesn't. Because usually when you polymorph something and you.
I think Hearsome did like the forever polymorph.
There's a very loud thump from upstairs. I rolled a natural one.
Alina's gonna be like, never mind. And she's gonna go upstairs and,
Okay.
and beat Billy
Before I
into
talk to the
submission.
frog, I want to hear some. Have you heard of anything? I think before you mentioned that there was the Song of Dark Morning in the army to the north, and
Yes.
before. I just want to know if you've heard anything happening in the north, since a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing seems to.
Yes, an
Likewise
army
there.
has been amassed, and they're forming a bridgehead towards Ganon, likely to do battle with the Dragonborn forces that have gathered over there. They're warring about the better of the two dragons, and I don't really know very much about that, but it's separate from our goal, I believe.
So you don't think that the army to the north is a danger to Everest itself? It's going to leave?
That is what I've heard.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Terrible.
Hard to tell.
Probably like net 10.
Here's the deceit.
Hey,
Make a check, but make
'Cause
it
he can do it
flat,
now.
And,
Did I get my? I got my.
oh, so did you
got
get
his
that
thing back.
recoded?
Yeah.
So before Cheshire went to bed, if Cheshire did that for you, Cheshire takes the strand of thought, and using encode thought, you can kind of place it against Ori's head, very similar to kind of wrapping it around like this. You don't need to do that, but if you choose to, Ori doesn't have to.
when you go back and watch the stream, you will see
Oh, I saw
Tina
that.
and Matt
I remember.
doing it behind. Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
what that was.
That's what that was.
So you'll
behind
hear
it,
me
yeah.
say that
I
when
liked
Matt
the
does.
confusion that
But-
Vincent just like.
I know, yeah. You regain this memory, and as it is introduced to you, first you see it like a movie, but then it's like the other sensations come in. You can smell the same smells and feel the sensations, and it becomes real to you again in a way that it could never have been just seeing it. And you regain the abilities that you've lost. Go ahead and make a check with ear for deceit.
It's an insight check, right? I was looking for sense motive.
Sorry,
Insight.
yeah, it is insight. I was
21. Yeah, you were right. I wasn't.
With the 21, you get the sense that he is absolutely telling you the truth. This is something that you also get the sense he has not really inquired a ton about.
Yeah.
He feels pretty confident in whatever information he has.
Yeah. No, that tracks.
Okay, well,
It's true.
I'm going to bed.
He will say, if it is concerning to you, I can get you as far north as the Valley of Fireflies, and you can investigate it yourself.
No, the dome makes sense, I think.
Nods. So you make your ways up to bed.
I'm going to bed.
Okay. Mika goes to bed.
I want to linger and talk to Ori a little bit.
Okay. Here, some will like drink a little bit, but if you're mostly talking to Ori, after a while, he'll make his way up to bed. The two of you can have your conversation. You are in private, save this bartender who looks absolutely fucking exhausted, but just kind of hangs out.
Oh, does he have to
wait.
like stay here because we're still here, or?
Are you saying anything to him?
You don't have to stay.
Yeah, you don't have to stay. We're just gonna talk and probably head to bed
Oh,
soon.
thank God. He's been cleaning the same glass. He puts it down, and he just says, honestly, Hearsome said that you are welcome to drink for free, so just please don't make a mess. And he makes his way upstairs.
Before you go, I'm gonna wait. Before you go, here, and I'll hand him just a gold piece.
He goes, he takes the gold piece, and he says, thank you. You know, when I made this deal with Hearsome, I thought I'd be getting a lot more in the first 2 weeks, what with the tournament
That's
and
why
all.
you shouldn't really make deals.
Yeah, well, I've heard that before. Here I am. He goes upstairs.
Hey, just wanted to check in how you felt, especially with
It's not great.
missing.
Not good. No. But there's nothing that we can do about it, so we have a few days.
Is there anything that you want to do in these few days?
Wait. If there were a way to get there quicker, that would be ideal, but I don't know any ways to get there quicker. So,
Do you know where you'd want to go? Because it sounded like here's some. If we didn't want to stay in town, then it sounded like it was an option for Hearsome to
well, I
send
think
us
we need
there.
to get north to the dome as quickly as possible.
It sounded like Hearsome was planning to take us there.
Right.
Did I
in 2
understand
days.
that correctly? Like after the term is done, he will take us to the dome.
He'll take you wherever you want to go, but
Okay.
it just has to wait until after the dome.
Okay. After the tournament.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And okay.
So, if we could find a way to get to the dome, which I don't think we'll be able to find a way to get to the dome quicker than in 2 days, unless there is some other way, in which case I would say that our best options right now would be, since we are in Petrichor, find something to do in Petrichor for 2 days. In which case I don't really care what we do. So I will drink this beer and probably will do trance and wait the few days. Yeah,
Sorry that we couldn't find her.
me too.
But if the opportunity does come again, and I think it might, I'll do whatever I can to help.
Thanks. If there is an incubus that attacks me, I would appreciate you doing some of the sunshine on it.
If you could just do your sunshine.
You got it, Ori.
Is Ori drunk?
I seem to have made another fiendish enemy.
Or best friend.
We're just making a lot of friends.
Wait. When?
About an hour ago now. A few hours ago, I guess. When we were downstairs in the Lunarish Guild Hall.
All I can remember is Minotaur for days.
Did you lose more memories?
No, I just must have not seen them. I did lose sight of you after the onslaught of Minotaurs.
Well,
That's what a group of Minotaurs.
I heard.
there was an incubus down there that nearly froze me to death until Minka saved my life. And then he left through the ceiling and said that we'd meet again.
I hate it when they do that.
Twice in the
Great retelling. Where I'm imagining this it's like the main character is playing all the same roles in the retelling, and this demon is just like peace and just goes straight out for the.
This is a res retelling.
Essentially what
And then he was like, "Yo, I'm out of here, guys."
You're just laughing at
That's really what happened.
it's pretty much just like, oh, we'll meet each other again. I'm not gonna forget this one, you.
Deuces.
Fuck you, I'll remember that.
But yeah, you relay that to Valis, who was around the corner and dealing with some other things at the time.
Getting stabbed by Billy.
So yeah, did you get your? You should have asked Cheshire to get your memories re-encoded.
Alina had them, and Cheshire had already gone to bed, so.
You found your own memories and gave them to someone else?
it seems safer than on me in case I exploded or something. I don't know. There was a lot of explosions down there.
That's how I feel about like when somebody's like here. Whenever somebody's like here, hold my child. I'm like, what if I explode? Like I genuinely feel like whenever somebody gives me something fragile, like, look at this cool glass animal, and it's like, but I could throw that against the wall.
What if the intrusive thoughts win this time?
Have you seen me washing dishes?
Oh, it's real. It's real. Anyway, sorry.
It's, I wouldn't do that personally, but you know, you can get them in the morning.
Yeah. Could I get your opinion on something real quick? Because sometimes I do things and don't realize they're a bad idea when I tell people things.
You did a good job earlier when you didn't say things.
Yeah,
I made a note of that.
I've been writing this poem, and I was thinking about maybe suggesting it to Cheshire, if in case she needed more songs, in case we found our way into the tournament. But it kind of talks about what we did, and I'm maybe thinking maybe that's not good to tell the world. I don't know. Do you wanna?
Yeah, I would say generally, I would not advertise ourselves in a way that would reveal ourselves to be involved in a situation that is already way over all of our heads to the public in a public setting, generally speaking.
Remember all the actual literal crimes we've committed?
I like how the first line is like, when we broke into the Lunarish Guildhall for nobody to see, we killed this dude non-lethally. Like, how are we gonna put this together?
It's not everything we did, but just.
Also, all of Cheshire's songs are about us.
I mean, Cheshire songs are gonna also.
Jesus.
Why are you throwing the microphone?
I didn't throw anything.
It's the ghost.
Sorry about that.
That must have been
Mic
absolutely
fell.
awful on the stream. I'm so sorry. I mean,
just-
I didn't do anything, but I'm still sorry.
There's a limiter on the soundboard, so
that's
it
good.
only goes so loud.
Give it a read and just let me know what you think and if it's a good idea to just not play it or not.
All right.
And yeah,
Well, I guess I'll give it a look.
you can read it.
Don't really do
Later.
much for lyrics, typically.
So Valis gives you his mixtape.
And then I think I'll probably just
Show it to your
go
producer
to
friend.
bed
Yep, you
after that. And
We have sheet music for it.
Oh, you trancing.
I want to spend a little bit of time looking at these gravels to see how I could incorporate them into some bolts.
Okay, you could spend a little bit of time doing that.
Pinkers.
So you're not Akka. You
No. But I got my tinkering tools
You
and my
do.
proficiencies.
So you
I
go
have
ahead,
a
make
screwdriver. I must know how to use it.
I'm not trying to break it.
But you're just thinking about it.
Because, like, I know
Nothing bad
it's
will
like
happen.
thunder gravel, so I know that it's
Make an Arcana
like
check.
breaking. It's gonna probably
Yeah,
cause
make
it
an
to
make an
fucking
Arcana check.
explode.
At the bar that's made out of marble with the kegs.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I want to just like see how I could go about doing that. That's cocked, I think. But that's that's a 1.
So you think about this, and despite the fact this is
Thinking
you
about it causes it to
this-
explode.
you thinking in like really simple cartoon forms. It's like arrow plus rock equals, and like it's just always a question mark. You cannot come up with a solution for this problem. You can't think of how to possibly get one hard object and substitute the sharp hard object to the end of a different one. It eludes you. You're like, these two things could not possibly go together. And so after a little bit, it's been a long day. It's almost 4 a.m. You just decide to pack it in and try a different time because this is just not coming to you. And you're getting kind of a headache.
Trance.
So you put your stuff down. You go ahead and trance. All of you can mark off a long rest. Billy.
Oh, I keep the frog. I gotta keep him safe now. So, before I go to bed, I look behind the bar if there's like a jar that I can poke some holes into the top of. And just
There's not a jar, but there is an empty keg, and the empty keg you can absolutely just pop some holes in and kind of have the frog in a keg. Yeah.
All right, that'll do for now.
Alrighty.
So there's a kind of terrible dish called drunken shrimp.
So it's an old discarded keg from what is called Druid's Dream Brewery. It is something that it was at one point called Cave Bear Brown Ale. And it does still smell a little sweet, but has been rinsed out, likely safe as anything for the frog. And you put the frog in there. You trance. All of you trance or sleep appropriately. You can mark off a long rest. You can take all of the associated benefits. But Billy, before you do that, first, can you make a Constitution saving throw and make it at disadvantage?
Oh, that's an 8.
It's 8. Okay.
Just for how bad the hangover is.
Probably. For where I am.
So how closely are you supervising Billy?
I would say after she, was trying to get out of bed and thump into the floor, I would say closer than usual.
Okay. So are you like sleeping with Billy?
Yeah, like in the bed with her. I think.
That's smart because like roughly like 5 a.m. The
Billy
very
starts
first...
like taking her clothes off. She's like,
Oh no, that's all. Like when you get back upstairs, the thump was Billy's pants down at the ankles, slammed down face first on the ground. Like had been trying to undress, unsuccessful even in that.
I feel like this is not the first time that. I mean, I feel like they do this for each other on the regular.
Yeah, for sure. But this it's been a second. When like there's a point at 5 a.m, the first rays of light are coming through the clouds, and you catch Billy trying to like sneak out the window. Like there is several points where Billy definitely has the opportunity to go out and get into mischief.
Billy.
But you largely keep Billy at bay.
Maybe Rez helps because he doesn't have to sleep, right?
What was your Constitution saving throw?
8.
8. But Billy, you don't gain the benefits of a long rest.
Damn.
And Alina, can you make a Constitution saving throw now, just flat?
Sorry.
Yeah, 6.
6. Nor do you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I already clicked it. I shouldn't have done that.
That's okay. I mean,
Well, I got a short rest, which is like most of the...
for a warlock, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Except for the exhaustion. We'll get
Whatever. That's fine.
The hours tick by overnight. The rain steadily pats down on the petrichor roofs. And because it is 8:45 and a good place to take a quick break, we will step away right now, and we'll come back in 10 minutes in the morning of the 8th of High Sun. Thank you for joining us for this session of Courts of Everest. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Bye.
and welcome back. All of us around a table
Every
playing
single
D&D.
one of us.
You
None
can hear
of us
more
had-
voices than just mine, and so you know
I'm
that
the
we're at
good
a full
child.
table, right?
None of us had to go
Everybody's
out
here.
to the car to find our
Only the
phones.
people who are the worst people are not here.
It's true.
My husband.
Oh, man.
You outed him.
I'm in trouble.
Did you find it? Oh, yay!
And we're back.
It
Back.
definitely was.
We've been here the
Thank you for
whole
sticking with us through the
time.
break. If you did, if not, here we are. We're back. We're playing D&D, and you're part of it. Oh no, you dropped it in the snow.
It's fine. It's fine. I purposely put a case designed for construction workers because I know me.
One's chilling.
My favorite, I will say, before we get back into D&D, my favorite moment of like forgetting items was Kara, with where Kara was so proud of the fact
Why you gotta do this to
that
me?
as a present, you were given this thing to specifically keep track of your keys, and you pressed the button, and it was so quiet that we're like, oh, okay, I guess that might work. And we didn't realize the reason it was so quiet was because Kara had already lost it outside, but we could still hear it from in here. Oh man, that killed me. Oh,
You're not
boy.
going to talk about the time that I made a bunch of people check their cars and their bags
was
after
pretty
30 minutes
No.
for searching for my car keys that were in my pocket?
My favorite one was the one where you were given technology and you were very proud of it. And you demonstrated how proud of you were having already lost it without your knowledge. That was so good. Anyways, D&D.
Listen, the ADD life.
So real,
The music here.
Why even have charge? Didn't even fuck up my battery.
He's reading it. Look at him go.
I replaced these last two
So,
pieces with Everest with them.
The 8th of High Sun dawns for most of you, though for you, Billy and Alina, it is not a pleasant dawn.
Fuck you, Billy.
You wake up without having achieved much rest, but for the rest of you, it was a lovely sleep in a beautiful building that was essentially built for you. You are all the first people to sleep in these beds for most of you. These are gorgeous rooms. You have your own bathrooms, and you can kind of make your way down at your own leisure. Most of you arriving downstairs by about 10 a.m., with Billy and Alina in not the best condition. What are you all doing as you gather around?
Having a headache.
Can I get my memories?
Oh, yeah. They're in this giant crate, remember?
I'll take the crate.
There you go.
Treasure. Can you please help me reincorporate these into my brain?
Breakfast first.
Breakfast first.
Speaking of which, you have the other memories from
I have a lot of memories, yeah.
the ones that were ours, though. There's one in there that is Billy playing a flute, like
What?
knowing how to play a flute.
I don't know how to play it.
I
So-
really super do though.
I think that there were 4 more strings in the Darkbriar receiver, correct? Outside of the one of Ori's and mine, there were 4 more.
There was enough for all of you to have lost memories, and I believe for Rez to have lost 2.
Alina never lost any. I think
Cheshire
maybe
never
But for those
You
of
lost
you who
2,
did,
right?
it was the number of
Right?
it
Oh.
was the number of memories that you lost plus 2 for Rez.
Okay, so there's 5 left that weren't claimed by anyone, but I don't think Billy was paying attention to me at the time. But these could be your memories, or they could be
Just touch it
Rez's
and see
as
if they
well.
are.
Rez.
well.
Billy just like reaches her hand out.
No, take a look at them because you'll know which ones are yours.
Billy, you look, and they're all bright. They all hurt your eyes, but one hurts your eyes worse than most. You
Just one?
point it. I believe so, right? You just lost 1? No, you lost 2.
I lost 3.
You lost 3. Give me 1 second. I only have 2.
It
written
was
down.
the ability to play the flute, the
Yeah.
importance of the earring,
Yeah.
And the dog.
The dog.
and the
that was
fact
the
that you
one,
received
right.
the dog. Yeah.
So as you touch this, suddenly you see a dark dog. And then your vision kind of zooms out. And from that tunnel vision that happens when you start to panic, you see it as just a figurine. It's in your hand, and you see Cheshire's hand retracting. You remember Cheshire giving you this dog, and then you remember it's in your bag. And you regain that memory. Though not drilled into your head the way a true memory would be, almost like a movie that you have seen.
Cheshire's finding breakfast.
Okay. You can smell cooking and following your nose, there is a kitchen that is off to the left. There is a halfling that is like up working over a stove, preparing a number of different kinds of sausages. You can smell the fat kind of sizzling atop what is essentially like a wood powered like flat iron kind of deal. Not flat iron. What do they call it? Like a griddle. Flat iron.
Someone's straightening their hair.
Flat iron sticks.
But she turns around and she would say, "The food's not quite ready yet, but we'll have it done in about 10 minutes."
Okay.
Just a moment, dear. And she like kind of gets down. This is a halfling. To like get up to the like stove top is kind of a hassle for her. But she gets down and she brings out like a couple of rolls of bread for you. They're freshly baked. They're warm still, and you can take some of those. And she says, "And just take those out for everyone else, and we'll be out in just a bit."
Thank you.
Nods, kind of adjusts her glasses and gets back to cooking. But you bring those out.
Eating.
Yeah, sure. You bring one roll out for everybody else to share. But no problem. You can tell that breakfast is being prepared for you at this moment. Yeah.
So the other two...
There are two. I'm assuming you take your 3.
Do I see 3 or do I just see 1?
You see 3, sorry.
Okay.
That's the one that you touch, and then you see that memory, but you see 3
All right,
threads.
here. I didn't. Here you go.
Did you look at them?
No, I would have known they were yours probably if I had, but it seemed really, I don't know. It seemed like the type of thing you would be mad at me for if I did, so I didn't do it.
Right.
He's learning. Alina's gonna be like, Raz, I think those last 2 ones are yours.
Yeah. Maybe we could do like later.
Is this in your mind?
Valis, can you... Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Valis, can you put those right here in my pocket? I'm not going to touch them.
Sure.
Those are.
I do it without touching them.
No. Okay. And I close the pocket, and Alina's like, we'll do it together. Okay.
Okay, but like, just think about it. Like, we don't need to.
We can't put it off forever.
But that's the cool thing, right? So there's a whole thing in the Hells called denial, and people are huge about it there. So I think one of the things that we could do is lean into my heritage, you know? Haven't you tried to be more accepting? Isn't that like a whole thing you're working on?
Okay.
Not that you need to. I mean, fuck goblins, but, you know.
Right? Fuck goblins. Listen, I just think you're not whole, you know? These are important memories.
But you feel like his form next to you kind of slump down. And he says, I just haven't felt like this in a long time.
I know, it's hard to feel scared all the time.
I didn't just feel scared. I felt... Make a persuasion check.
I'm good at those. Oh, shouldn't have said it. 11.
11.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to talk about feelings, okay?
Yeah, feelings are absolutely the worst. But look, I'm just saying, think about it, because if you want to do the right thing and grow and be like a better person, you have to know what you're growing from.
Okay, projecting much. And he just kind of like laughs invisibly next to you. But very much avoidance. This is absolutely like he is not looking at these.
And it's just as true for me as it is for you. So I'll keep these in my pocket for now, but we're gonna deal with this sooner rather than later. So like, get ready.
Those are Rez's memories, right?
Yeah.
I can play the flute.
I tried to tell you. And I think that's what breaks Alina's like
Sure, no
intensity in
problem.
this conversation.
And why would she just put them in her pocket? That's stupid.
A lot of people hold on to different things for a lot of different reasons, Ori. Why are you so judgmental?
Well, if she's
I've
if they're
got
not
30
Rez's,
of
then
them.
that's rude. Keeping someone else's memories.
Maybe he doesn't
I'm
want
a little bit
them.
confused. I was just doing what I was told.
No, I'm saying.
Do I hear this? They are Rez's dipshit. Sorry.
That's what I said.
Sorry, I didn't get good sleep
Oh.
last night.
That makes a lot more sense now, actually. That's why you wanted them in that pocket.
Yeah, we were having a conversation. Sometimes I forget that
Is he
that's
okay?
not like.
Yeah, why doesn't he want his memories
Okay.
back?
How you doing,
It's
Rez?
a perfectly valid response. Why would anybody want certain things?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
but
why would they want certain things?
Guys, lay off him, okay?
everyone's got bad
There's
Oh
like
my
this
God.
deal with them.
And Rez appears. You can see a little potato body, tiny little wings flapping, and he looks almost embarrassed. And he goes, "Look, there was something that I lost, and with it, I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but there's some feelings that went with it, okay? And I didn't like those feelings, and they're gone now, and I don't want them back. And that's it."
We're all on our own
Perfectly
journey when we
valid.
lose things.
I agree.
Sometimes you're not ready to find them yet.
Finally, somebody is speaking sense. Thank you, Minka.
If I could cast a therapy spell on you, I would.
You
That was
do.
fun.
I'm not familiar with that school of magic.
Yeah, that's.
It isn't one.
You are going to eventually need to confront those.
That's.
When things get lost, sometimes it
they're not lost,
takes a
they're in your
little bit
pocket.
of time before you're ready to find them again.
Well, it's a good thing that we don't
And
need to find
sometimes
them.
when things get lost, it's for a good reason.
Billy watches the final memory and goes running back upstairs.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. You run back upstairs.
Okay.
Take your time, Rez, but you might have lost something important.
No, probably.
Yeah, so, you know,
What if we find ourselves in a situation where we needed that information and we didn't have it?
Well, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but hopefully we
We
won't.
could cross
we're not gonna
it.
know that until we're in the situation, and at that point it might be too late.
At the very
Whereas
least,
right now we're in the
We
comfort of
have
this.
them. We physically possess them. Why are we just...
Why do I have to look at them? Couldn't you just look at them?
We don't
I could
need
look
to.
at him.
Well, if you let us look at them, but that's
Well,
like a whole
maybe
thing
not
about
you, but maybe like
privacy.
one of them. Because, like, I can kind of see the stuff that you're looking at, so.
at the very least,
I can take a look at them if you want. But I will say, as someone who has
They're in like a breast pocket, so Lena's like, no!
I've been fighting for a long time to find my memories. But as someone who's lived without their memories, it's fine. You just do the best you can with what you have left. And if Rez wants to do that with what he has left, then isn't it his call on what to do regarding his memories?
Not when it might put other people in danger.
listen, we are here, at the very least, for another day or two. Why don't we pin this, and before we leave, we revisit it and see how everyone's feeling then? Forcing anyone to do anything right now isn't going to really solve anything in the greater context.
But again, you guys can look. I'm just asking, very nicely, I might add, for somebody whose nature is not to do so, to not show me or Alina.
Take a look. Just give them to me.
You okay with that?
I mean, worst possible in your mind. I mean, worst possible choice. But if somebody's got to do it, then fine.
Alina's like, this is your last chance to say that you want it to be someone other than Ori.
In your mind, he says, Alina, every time that I've seen Ori get hurt, I've thought it was pretty funny. But I didn't when we were underground. I don't know what is in those memories, but I don't think it's good for me to remember them.
Let's have someone else take a look, and maybe they can give some context.
You feel him nod, and then after a second, he just goes, all right.
Right, and then Alina's like, fine, Ori, just hold it. Just be careful. Get it. I'm not going to touch him, so you got to
no.
go.
Well, if anything weird happens, just like
Cheshire
brace me or something.
Are you going to just dive for them? All right, make a sleight of hand check.
Oh no.
Is it contested now, or
Not really.
some like grabbing?
29.
29.
A very awkward moment now.
As Alina just goes like this, you disappear these threads into your hand, and you almost have like a very uncomfortable moment with Alina, but you almost expected something like this to happen. And so, not terribly surprising, you have these memories, and as you touch them, Cheshire, in your hands, they almost vibrate and thrum and feel as if they burn. and you are looking into this place that is dark and sinister, and you can see just endless bookcases and these little scrolls that smolder away in each. You can see that there is, past all of that, this icy sky that is behind. There's no roof on whatever building you are within. It is just open to the air. And way past all of that, I believe Cheshire was here when you saw the Tomb of Levistus, but you can see in the distance, almost beckoning, this pulsing glow that is emanating like a dark and sinister version of the Aurora Borealis over top. And you feel as if that almost calls. There is a commanding presence there. There is something that is so driving that it feels almost like the pulse of a heart or the breath that comes in and out of a lung. There is something that cannot really be resisted. It is almost speaking of the fact that by participating in life, the entities that belong to this force serve it, whether they want to or not. Make an insight check. With a 17, you don't feel as if you can see the full picture here. But you imagine that the elements of this, there is something to the this is a memory of belonging. Really a memory of belonging to this part of the Hells. By losing this, there is an element of obligation that Rez is not subject to right now. You're not sure what that is, but in a way, Rez has found a sliver of freedom, and that is what he's clinging on to so much. When Rez had spoken about the fact, or you didn't hear that, you get the sense that while Rez has always been in service of Alina, he's a familiar, all of it had something more. And though Rez would never admit to this, he's just a tiny cog in a much greater machine. And there are equal parts of that he doesn't want to look at, but also the fact that you get the sense with a 17, though you don't know why, if he regains this memory, there is a chance that he would have to betray Alina. And he does not want to do that.
What about the other one?
Oh, Alina. You could be so powerful if you would just understand yourself.
I think that Billy walks down right when she says that.
Okay.
And just locks her eyes on Cheshire. It's like, what do you mean by that?
I don't know.
Say it again.
You could be so powerful if you'd only understand yourself.
What does it mean?
Knowing yourself.
Not you.
Just saying, it's a
Insight
pretty
check?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You've been saying it for the past day now, and you gave me this stupid fucking dog!
13.
13.
Yeah, it belongs to you.
Billy's mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that
mean?
is that was
When he said
a
it.
present? I was there.
With a 27 on your insight check, Lori, Billy isn't mad. Billy, with a 27, what is Billy feeling?
Billy's terrified.
It is fear that is driven from something that is so deep within Billy. You imagine it originates a long time ago. And you're not sure what that is, but you see straight through the anger and straight into the fear. But for you, Minka, Billy's just pissed.
Is that from the memory? What? Why are you saying that?
Saying what?
She said it before memories were taken.
Why are you saying that?
It's so clear. And with you, too, like, it's in focus. It's, but I don't know what.
Well, I mean,
You took Rez's memories. The whole idea was to, help him understand some context so he can decide whether he wants to see them. So
You don't want them, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
It's better this way.
Look, it was never up to me anyway.
But it kind of is.
Is Hearsome here?
Yeah, he's upstairs. You've heard a couple, like, hoof clops upstairs.
Okay. Well, okay. I have like a concern about all this memory stuff, but I don't know if we should talk about it here. Probably not. But
Can we eat breakfast first at least?
yes, we should do that.
And as the halfling comes out, now carrying a full plate. So you can see like a number of different sausages, some that are like, one of them looks very off at first because it's bright blue, but it's blueberries that have been incorporated with like some maple and some other things. It's like a breakfast sausage.
Not to
There's some
yuck
other
anybody's
things-
yum,
no,
but
no worries. But there are other things that are a little bit more traditional and spicy. There are some things that are a little bit more like a Toulouse style sausage. They've been cut into like these little discs and sort of like a little like tasting tray. There is 2 different kinds of bread. One very similar to what Cheshire brought out, these little rolls. Another sort of sourdough loaf that has been cut up. There is butter, there is salt, there are other spices that are included as well. And then there is a heaping plate of fried eggs, all just a little bit over hard, but just a big plate of them. And that just kind of hits the bar. You can see a very tired looking water genasi coming down the stairs and kind of getting ready to start their day. But you all have breakfast.
Were there 2 res memories or just the one?
That was just the one that you touched. There's another one as well.
Did you take them both or?
I mean, I would have.
Yeah.
Take the other one as well?
Yeah.
Did you touch it?
Yeah.
Okay. So touching the other one, it's a little bit different. You zoom back, same building. You see all these scrolls and everything, but it's a little bit more populated. You see about a dozen imps moving about this place, all like chained down to the floor, this big heavy ball kind of dragging as they move, and some of them like laboring to pull this, wings just all these imps, classic looking imps, like wiry little bodies, wings, but then you can sense that you are just a little bit different. You feel markedly different. You feel self-conscious. And despite all of this, and despite the overwhelming shame that you feel about these feelings, you can't help but look up again because you know that there's chocolate up there. And you know that the very thing that makes you so different is the thing that would just make you so happy, and it's right there. And you peek up and you can see that looking over this entire sort of Scrivener works is this station where this individual, who is certainly a demon, you can see like powerful looking, big black leathery wings, probably standing about like 9 feet tall, but from Rez's point of view, they are a god sitting up here. And you can see in front of them, there is a comically small piece of chocolate, just tiny little, like a square of a square, just kind of put here on the desk. You can see most of it is gone, just crumbs, but just this one square remains. And this demon is like engrossed in this scroll. And they are looking at it, and you feel your mouth immediately just drench, water coming down the chin, almost comical. And then you feel movement, and the memory ends.
Joe.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Joe, is Rez in trouble because he stole chocolate?
Yeah.
He told
said
us
that.
already.
I know, but
I actually
like,
assumed that he was lying because that's
I also assumed he was lying.
100%.
Why would he lie?
my
He's a
God.
Is
demon.
the truth.
damn.
Damn.
Didn't doubt that.
I was expecting that to be like a haha funny twist.
Well, because he told me that like I don't. Damn it.
I mean, we've met Rez. We know Rez.
We do.
We do. All right.
That 100% tracks.
That 100% tracks.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the least hidden secrets.
Yeah.
No,
It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I just assumed
was
it.
Spontaneously
It's
after
one of those
doing
things
it,
that it's-
Cheshire bursts out laughing.
It's just one of those things where it
Okay,
was
that's
so
not nice.
blatantly said that I just had to assume that it was a trick.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Same.
That's a big part of Rez's character.
When Cheshire laughs, Alina's gonna be like, "Okay, I'm guessing that one wasn't as serious as the other one."
No, that one, common gold, but
Was I torturing a guy?
in a way.
Rest is like, I want that one.
Cheshire, would you mind holding on to those for Rez?
Of course.
Rez, one day if you're ready for him, just ask Cheshire.
Maybe the second one. but no problem.
So as we're eating breakfast, I want to sit next to Ori and ask him
Yes?
what he thought real quick.
Oh,
Spot real quick, just
it was
concrete.
very well written. I liked the alliteration. The rhyme scheme was a bit rudimentary, but I think we should hold off on releasing it until it is finished, because it seems like there is at least, hopefully, more, but at least one stanza left.
Remember,
Do
Valis
you-
doesn't know what music is.
A stanza?
Good. But why are you using that voice you use when you sometimes lie to people?
Yeah, insight check.
And also be careful because Vincent actually wrote it himself.
Fucking terrible. I've been rolling the shittiest insight all night. So it's
At least
total
the
of
stakes for
9.
these are relatively low.
So
Hard to tell what's going on here.
Yeah.
Wait, Minka, you've heard of this. Thieves' camp. And you didn't know that Valis could speak this, but not surprising for Ori.
Something about his
Do you think that it would be dangerous to us if this were to be...
I think a little bit
Known
of
to
it
the masses.
is a bit too much information to release to the public.
Is it the names?
It's mostly the names and also all of the things that we've done.
Some combination of those two factors.
Okay.
It is a good. I would love to hear it when it is released, but I think we should finish this before you release it. Because again, I mean, not to spoil it, but I mean, I see that you've gone with what we've done here, and then here, and then you're going here now, and so I imagine that there's at least, hopefully again, here.
And the
then
younglings, too.
I mean, even if it's not finished, might be still worth telling. And that might add to the appeal. But really the question is it dangerous for us?
I think it's dangerous for us to be revealing all of the things that we know to anyone,
Wait, what is
because
Valis
there are
revealing?
things that are still actively happening.
Valis, what are you revealing?
Can we all hear this conversation?
Absolutely, and even over the clapping of Hearsome as he comes downstairs, and you do hear from the stairs, yes, what are we talking about?
Okay,
You're not
so...
talking about taking the armor off, right? You
We
need that.
No. So I've been...
We're talking about what our next plan is for
For
after
revealing
the 2
Valis?
days
Perhaps
that we're
let's
stuck
dispense
here.
No, it's-
with the lies and just... I was mostly asking to be polite, but no, I'm curious.
I've been writing a poem, and this is... So...
It is an epic saga of our tales, as told in rhyme verse. That is, as I said, incomplete because we have not yet finished it. But it is good. Again, I'm not much of a lyricist myself. I usually don't flute, typically.
Why would this be something that you would lie about?
Well,
It doesn't... I don't mind telling the group.
no, that's fine. It's not my information to tell.
Okay. So I've been writing this poem because, as a gift to the group, to the Wandering Hearts, and I asked Ori if it was it would be dangerous if I can have Cheshire turn into a song and have it played and known to the masses. So, would you like to hear it?
If you're ready.
Okay. It's unfinished, and it'll be obvious why, but let me just read you the poem.
Ah, Valis, a moment. He goes over to the Janazi and kind of says something, and he starts pouring beers. And though it is 10:30 in the morning,
There are the dog.
here someone comes over with 6 beers and proceeds to offer each of you one if you would like to take it.
Yep.
I'll take it, and I'll go.
Accepting things from a fae.
He smiles and he offers you and Billy each one. Do you accept? You take this, and from the smell alone, you recognize this. This is from Thornholm. This is a beer that is called Reveller's Raucous Ale. It is made in the Revelry on the Green, which is a kind of inn that is located in Thornholm. The Pixies, who actually take up residence on the second floor, help brew this. And it is a especially alcoholic beer, but very hoppy, notes of mint, notes of pineapple, citrus, and a very creamy mouthfeel.
Alina's like, oh, wow, I haven't had this in years.
I thought you might like it.
Thank you, Hirsum.
Of course. You've all done a fantastic job. Now, let's hear Valus's poem.
I'm not a poet. I do love poetry, but just, if it's... Ori doesn't think it's very good.
No, I said it's good.
Yeah, you said in that voice, though.
You need a better opinion.
Valus, somebody give him a hug.
Will you give me just one moment? Thank you. And he stands up and he says, just one moment, please.
Oh, no.
And he makes his way out the front door. Into the rain goes Hearsome.
Oh no. Oh no.
Anybody doing anything?
Wait, what did he just say?
Minka's gonna
I'm going to get up and go after him.
Okay.
Minka's gonna cast Enhance Ability on Valus.
You get up, you walk out, and you see Hearsome as he steps into the rain almost just dissolve into raindrops. They just disappear, although you do see moving in a way similar to gaseous form. This kind of like the rain itself is just a billow, like 300 feet a minute, just kind of flying through.
I know.
And they kind of disappear around a corner. A couple minutes go by. And you would see here some very distinct tall figure rounding the corner. They are holding out this umbrella that is bright green over an individual who is wearing all black.
Oh boy.
This is a human, and as they approach, I would say, who's outside watching this? Just you, Alina? You are not familiar with this individual, but they are wearing all black, very pale skin. You can see high collar around this dress for 10 a.m. in the middle of the rain. Almost Victorian outfit this is, but makes their way over under Hearsome, who is bright green, and kind of ushers her in. As they pass you, she says, Alina, of the Wandering Hearts, please meet Eurodria Crane, one of the most foremost poets that the Petrichor Performers Association has ever seen. I thought, who would have a better ear for the spoken word than Eurodria? And she nods, and she says, this is earlier than I would normally leave, so I hope this is not a waste of my time. She makes her way inside.
Alina,
She walks in and says immediately, who is the alleged poet?
So when Hearsome left, Minka ran over and they cast Enhance Ability for Eagle Splendor
Sure.
on Valus.
Very nice.
Okay, so I don't think anyone in the group has really seen Valus nervous, because I don't think he's really been smart enough to know when he should be nervous, but you see him nervous.
Absolutely.
can Alina be like, we're honored by your presence, but Valus already said that this piece isn't really ready to be heard by anyone other than the group,
As this, you can see, here's some steps forward, goes, no, that is patently false. Valus needs to believe in himself more. He is a scholar of the Orsenlock, after all. This is an individual who is as learned as any of us in here. And you can see, the poet kind of nods and looks looks at Valus in a new light, oh, wow, this is a scholar. And here's some nods and just says, please, Valus, share.
Talon wants to remind us that Allah gave us a wheel. Okay, I tried.
The armaments of the Wandering Hearts. Through woods and plains, through Everest we march, we wandering six, we wandering hearts. Just the cars of the realm, a treaty upheld, the four seasons endure, and foes be felled. O'er seas and stars, 'neath moon and sun, we've wandered alone, now we wander as one. With sword and spell, with arrows and song, we seek the armaments that'll make us strong. To help Basare, his royal highness, and with aid from Gliza, her royal flyness, I'll look at, Pearson as I say that.
You can see Pearson just kind of raises it. The poet looks very confused. So far, though, seems to be like relatively, you're keeping her attention at least.
On dragonfly wings, we flew to free the ancient home of the fire genasi. As the lava burst through the magma layer, we fought the giants at Kurtaratreya. With the Fire King slain, Valus claimed his prize, the prayer beads of Javaris the Wise. Through wood creep we swept and protected woods deep, we awakened the treants from their ancient sleep. As we strode along into the candlestick forest, a malicious mist hid the path before us. We found our way, put a resolve to test, against the hags that form the coven of unrest. With their fall and the call of Sir Nunos beside her, Alina donned the garb of the Nightmare Rider.
You can see at that, like, she starts repeating the name Alina over and over in her mouth. Kind of looks at you now, having been introduced, and seems to be, like, taking in your garb a little bit more.
Explosions abound, to Darkbriar we traveled, a beetle train away, a mystery to unravel. The room was falsely made, the monsters came from the caves, we descended the depths to save the lost enclave. Freezing were the waters, and draining were the wells, until we closed the portal to the freezing hells. With the frozen fiend banished, before we vanish, Billy took Cinderson, now hers to brandish.
You can see she nods, hears some of this, puts the mug down, just goes, bravo! But the poet nods, and after like a moment, for those of you who want, you react, you can clap if you want. The water genasi claps, seems kind of annoyed still, because he's pretty tired, but no worries. The poet waits for a couple of beats, and when the applause dies down, she says, "It was very elementary, very simple, the structure basic, and the use of a slant rhyme. Ugh. But you are not a poet, and your words are true, and there is beauty in that. Keep working on it. There is something there. It is an unpolished gem. I did notice Alina.
Yes.
Billy. Minka. Have you written another song?
Oh no.
Oh no. God.
Oh no.
I must say the other one is much more polished. A bit bright for me, but
Was it
Are we
perhaps about...
What song are you referring to?
it is the one that the other gentleman in pink was performing.
What?
Minka the Malicious.
No.
No.
Something about an eclipse.
Yes. That one.
Is that you?
Doesn't ring any bells.
I actually have no idea what's going on.
Can you...
An eclipse.
I don't think I've written anything else. Can you tell us more about it?
Surely you must have. I have not heard of you all before. You are not especially famous. But everybody roll a 20-sided dice.
What is happening?
Natural 20.
9.
13.
16?
18.
And so, you must be Ori.
Yes.
Ori's heart feels rejection sting. Cast aside by the sire's pride. Those were the words.
This is
Yeah.
Cheshire. Isn't that...
You said it was a gentleman who said that song.
Wasn't that the
Yes.
Where did you hear it?
In
the song
town
you told us
square
after
yesterday.
in the
Yesterday in the town square.
frozen
Yes,
hearted?
I saw the gentleman.
Friendly?
He was setting up again.
Oh, okay.
Where you told me
Was singing about us?
Well, I assume so. It would be unlikely that the Nalina and the Billy and the Minka would also travel, but perhaps.
was there a Valus and something about as well?
Yes, but I only remembered the one part.
This sounds
Yes, Billy.
Billy.
I want you to finish your sentence. It
This-
sounds like what?
Go ahead.
Tapestry song.
Yeah.
What tapestries?
Billy kind of looks back at Cheshire again. Something about Billy and the Merkendra.
As I said, I only remember the one line, but
Where is this guy?
in the town square.
Regularly?
Well, just yesterday, but I saw him again today.
I'm gonna go take a little stroll.
How
I'll
to
go
miss?
with you.
Very pink.
Pink.
Yes. Like your friend.
Slipping out.
Okay, you slip out of this tower.
Alina's gonna be like, Cheshire, do you know anything about this?
No.
Were you in the town square
Two,
yesterday?
you make your way out.
I'm gonna go too then.
Three,
Because,
you make your way out. Splitting the party.
No,
No,
I'm gonna
do
go with.
Oh, you go
as
with.
well, and
Ori had been trying to get Billy to.
You
oh,
said
sorry.
that
I didn't notice
you
that.
had recently heard from someone when we were underground.
You took a memory from yourself and shared it with us, and there was a song or a poem in it, and I believe I recall those lines, Ori Forsaken, the lines that she mentioned. Do you recall? When you shared with us that memory, when you said you forgot how to do it and you took your memory and shared it with us?
You think it could be that person?
Were those the words that she said? Was it the same from the song?
I didn't think so.
That's weird though, right?
We
Joe,
should go.
where-
We should go. We should go check it out.
Maybe go check it out.
You look around, and Alina and Billy have already snuck out.
No, Ori and
Ori and Billy had
That
already
was
snuck
from
out.
the tapestry.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Okay,
But the two of you make your way out and into the rain. There are people kind of coming to and from. There's like a bustle of like kind of like town and city happening. It's about 10:30 in the morning, and so like life is in full swing here. You can see a number of people who are all wearing these like really waxed over garments to keep the rain off. A lot of people here wearing like darker glasses or eye coverings. But as you walk amongst the kind of textured pavers and towards the center of town, there are a number of different kind of bits of music that you hear through the air. Could both of you make perception checks, please?
Where is this asshat? 20!
It's time to tackle a man in pink.
Rip his head off. Ready. Turn off to the right, and you pass the Drizzled Out, which is a pretty ramshackle tavern, really on the edge of town. You pass and go further into town, past the Stormlords Capsaicin Club, past the Elements off to the right, where further down these sort of canals, you could reach where you know is the Petrichor's Performer Association. You probably were there yesterday. You don't remember it, but that's how you normally would
Billy has
arrive
no
here.
idea how we got here.
Exactly. You make your way past the Shearwater Post, which is an old watchtower that has been converted to house many of these little seagulls that are all kind of crawling and giving you a little bit of a headache. But over all of that noise and over the rain, you hear strands of maybe a lute or something being played, and undoubtedly you hear some familiar words. And as like the crowds part and you make your way through to this area kind of where they have gathered quite a loud crowd, you see an individual who is a halfling. They are dressed in all pink, bright pink, these tight socks that go up to the knees. You see these little pointy shoes. You can see like big billowy pants that are striped up into these almost like bloomer-like pants. They wear a petticoat that is almost identical to Cheshire's. You can see they wear a top hat that is a little too small for their head. And as this individual like finishes the music, there is this pregnant pause before they sing. And as you behold Tundin Schmeff, the Wonder Chef, who is at this moment beginning to sing, because it is 9:40, this is where we're going to end for the evening. But you have all made it to Petrichor. It is only 2 days until the Battle of the Bards. And we will be back next week. You can join us to see what is going to happen and how this could possibly be attached to this person next week, right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. If you can't wait that long, on Tuesday. You guys okay over here?
Dungeon Schmeff, the Wonder Chef, is really killing all of us.
Can I tell you, when you came up with that one shot, I was like, I can plant this right here. And I was very, very gratified. And to sit here for over a year and not say anything was killing me. But to see what all of that means, you can join us next week. And if not, on Sunday at 12, followed by this at 4:30 p.m., we are going to be playing our Starfinder game over on YouTube at Alberon RPG. Please stay safe. It's wild out there. Thank you for joining in. Talon, Gunnar, Olive, whoever else was watching, thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
forget
yeah, tomorrow. Noon. Tomorrow.
Please come tune in.
We might not die.